Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup. We are back once again for day number 2 of the Mid-Atlantic qualifier. Today's game of the day is going to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and we have some amazing schools which are going to be competing in today's event. And I just want to actually pull up the list here because I actually want to go through all the list real quick. And that list really fast is we have Old Dominion ODU Esports, Mount St. Mary's, we have NJCU, New Jersey, Howard Community College, we have St. Thomas Aquinas, as well as Loyola. So we have 6 different colleges competing today. It's going to be group stages to start out the event, which will the winners of those group stages will then make it into bracket play to finish out the remainder of the tournament, which will be concluded today for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate portion. Round 1, we have Old Dominion taking on New Jersey City. And in round 2, we have Mount St. Mary's taking on St. Thomas in that matchup there. So without further ado, we do have Soy as well as Orbital on the mic to bring to you all the amazing Super Smash Bros. Action. And you already know when Paulie Hype's on the host, we got to have a quick little moment of hype. That way we can get ready for some of this awesome collegiate esport action. So without further ado, let's get that moment in real fast. That's right. Collegiate Esports is here, baby. Woo! And let's throw it over to Soy as well as Orbital for the Super Smash Brothers action. I'll see you guys tomorrow back with some more Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup Mid-Atlantic news and updates.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are here getting ready for some SSBU action. My name is Soy. Orbital is here at the desk joining me for the rest of the day, and this one should be a fun one. The Mid-Atlantic Invitational, as Paulie Hype pointed out, we have got a full day ahead of us. We are going to be going through pool play to get ready for the rest of the bracket. That pool play, again, it is going to be round robin style. Everyone plays everyone once. So 5 full rounds throughout our day. Round 1 consisting of our very first matchup here. Old Dominion U versus New Jersey City. Then later on, we've got Mount St. Mary's and Loyola, Maryland going up against each other. And then Howard versus St. Thomas Aquinas. So that's our first round, and we'll be going through those matchups through the rest of the day. But this pool play is all leading up to a top 8 bracket. These 6 teams are competing for those top 4 spots. Those top 4 spots, well, they play through a single elim bracket, and the winner of this entire event ends up going into the CECC national bracket being held in Atlanta later this year. So it should be a fun day overall as we are getting things worked out here on our end. I mean, I'm excited for today. Collegiate Smash is just always such a grab bag of talent coming through. Oh, and we should also mention the format. It's the classic Esports U format. It is a 3v3 crew battle traditional style, but it's also a best of 3, which means that once or if you lose your first crew battle, you're not necessarily done. You have that chance to try and actually, I'm getting word that's not quite correct. It's actually just a best of 1. So that very first crew battle does matter. My apologies. But yeah, no, that traditional crew battle format makes things even more interesting because, that very first matchup, every single stock becomes even more important. Either way, should be a fun day ahead of us. And, so we get things ready on our end. That very first matchup, again, Old Dominion U get the first matchup of the day versus New Jersey City. Now, these teams are just invitationals, so they did not go through the whole league play to get to this format. They were just, sign up and you're in, and we get to see what kind of talent gets brought to the table. Should be a lot of fun. And as we get things worked out here, just working through some technical difficulties on our end. So let's look at all the matchups for the day. So we talked about round one. It's Old Dominion U versus New Jersey City to start off our day. Our next match after this, Mount St. Mary's versus Loyola MD. And then to wrap up round one, it's Howard versus St. Thomas Aquinas. Round two, Loyola MD gets Old Dominion. So Old Dominion start each round as the very first battle of, well, their hour. Then the second match of round two, New Jersey City, they take on Howard. Mount St. Mary's also will then go up against St. Thomas Aquinas for that second round, and so on and so forth. And now we are getting word that the matchups are going to be, well, starting shortly, and here they are. Again, round one here, Old Dominion versus New Jersey City. I believe this is Old Dominion on the Villager Byron fan, and Rampage for New Jersey City on the Joker. Oh, sorry, we're also getting word Polo is under the tag Byron fan 9, but we'll be referring to him as Polo. So Villager versus Joker to start off the day. Interesting matchup to say the least here. I mean, Joker, you've seen a lot of high tier results from this character in particular, but Villager's got their own bag of tricks. A lot of play around the projectiles. Things to note that forward air and back air are stronger the closer those hitboxes land. The farther away those projectiles go, the less damage and knockback they do, but they are good spacing tools, and you're seeing Polo use them to his advantage here. That recovery game also going to be very important. It's going to be interesting to watch, see how Rampage can deal with that Villager recovery that's got a lot of distance to it, but no hitbox to kind of protect themselves with. So far, though, it's Rampage who's been on the back foot here. 112% right now. Still trying to find a way to take this stock. Byron right now at 78 and continuing to chip away. And Villager's got a decent amount of just raw, strong hitboxes, including that bowling ball to take the first stock via the edge guard. So it's Polo to strike first and take that first stock here. And Kilo Miles is here to join us at the desk here. Miles, how's it going?
Oh, it's gone good, so I'm excited to see NJCU on the podium. They were formerly a major force in Eastern Esports, and I'm glad to see them. They've made their way to this Invitational against ODU, and right now they're holding their own. It's a pretty even game.
Right now, that first stock is off the board, but Rampage for NJCU trying to find a way to take this stock. Can't really find a way to contest those balloons right now. Is able to find one with the back air, but can't clip the second. Byron just doing a great job of buying for time, but only can do so much. The dash attack underneath the side B with Arsene, that's going to be able to do it. And look at that quick combo that Polo's able to rack up here. And so far, Old Dominion with a decent lead for themselves.
Yeah, with Germ right now, actually Germ, not Polo, they are going to be, like you said, racking up this damage, and even though they are feeding Arsene, they survived Arsene well enough last time, so I think they're not minding it too much, and the fact that Rampage keeps going for these Rebel Guards means they find the ways in. Now using a bit of hurtbox shifting to avoid that, but dropping down the bowling ball from the top platform and covering the neutral getup right there, they have time to set up the ledge trap, but even with the extended hitbox, it's not going to save you from Rampage's forward smash.
Kind of an odd interaction there. Felt like Germ had kind of a couple ideas on how to edge guard Rampage, but then didn't pull the trigger fast enough, and all that rage and that Arsene on top allows Rampage to take that stock, and now he's put Germ on his last one here. Remember, this is the only crew battle of the first round for these two. It's not a best of 3, so this stock very important here for Germ to try and see if he can at least get this one off the board, make it close, because right now Rampage is continuing to rack on this percent. 55 got the first hit of forward air but couldn't follow up off of the back of it, and Rampage just continuing to try and chip away at the stock.
Even when Rampage isn't getting hard extensions, they are still able to find conversions. They're still able to get control. They're still able to get edge guards, and they're still able to get a lead for NJCU in this first crew battle of the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational.
What a huge second stock there from Rampage. It seemed very close, very even at first. It was the Villager just continuing to work away at this percent with projectile after projectile. They even landed the first stock by getting that edge guard with the bowling ball on the grappling hook, which was very clean. But at the end of the day, it was the Joker who at the end of the day was finding those conversions that you talked about. They found their way through that wall of projectiles and were able to get, well, a 2-stock victory here. And that's a huge amount of stocks considering the format.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I feel like it was Rampage really mixing up how people usually play against Villager. I mean, Villager is renowned as a sort of anti-zoner, and we can see that in a lot of the different styles of gameplay. Rampage, though they didn't let them play that game, they would use that Rebels Guard a lot, knowing Villager didn't have the range to get a hard punish on it.
Yeah, that Rebels Guard did come in clutch too. The use of Arsene in particular is always something to watch when Joker is on the field. But just again, Rampage did such a good job of finding ways in, and all that chip damage. We've talked about this in previous games, right? You can rack up a ton of percent, but unless you find a way to take the stock, you're just building up rage against your opponent. And it felt like that was at least the case at the end of that very first game there for Rampage and Germ.
Yeah, and Reeds-centric players, they're amazing, they're hype, but in clutch situations like that, it can get so detrimental when you're relying on catching out their movement with a forward smash, and you don't have any real consistent confirms, you're dropping ledge traps. That is when you can find you can find yourself slacking, because even if you're the most godlike neutral player, eventually you'll have some rare misses, Soy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can only, get away with that kind of movement for so long, I guess. And right there, Germ couldn't quite, hold on. And in fact, it was a huge stock that Rampage pulled off on the second one. The fact that he's got 2 stocks headed into this format, remember, it's only 3 players per team. You got 9 stocks in total. For him to only drop 1, for him to hold on to that second stock means that the score line here is still 8-6. And those 2 stocks, I mean, Joker, too, is just a well-rounded character, so it seems like a decent blind pick, too, for New Jersey City to go with in this very first round.
Yeah, and I'm very familiar with New Jersey City University's roster. You might know this. New Jersey City University was actually my first Smash casting gig, so that's a fun little tidbit for you. But their roster has changed a lot since I had my tenure there, and Old Dominion, I did see them once or twice in a couple other events, but the fact that they were able to hold their own against this initial pick and that they didn't get completely run over is a very good sign. Like, when your opener, especially on a more mid-tier unorthodox character like Villager, is able to hold their own against the top tier, that is a good omen. You might be able to make a comeback here.
We'll have to see what the rest of the lineup brings. We're getting those matchup things worked out. The picks and bans are I believe going through now, but we'll have to see where these players go. Again, this is just game 1 of round robin play. The Old Dominion and New Jersey City still have a bunch more matches after this. It's going to be a fully stacked day. The bans, I believe, we're getting word. It was Small Battlefield and okay. We're also okay. Sage is being locked in. Excuse me. Polo is now going to be sent in, and Small Battlefield is the stage. Not quite sure who Polo's opting to play, but I mean, there's a whole cast of characters to go through. Should be interesting to see. Small Battlefield for Joker, though, still feels pretty manageable.
Yeah, I do like that. You want to be able to close the distance, because what we saw was, again, a lot of Rampage playing the distance game, playing around that Rebels Guard and getting those stray hits that led into bigger things. And right here, they're able to close the distance. Wii Fit Trainer able to start combos with that landing there, but Polo also is going to be able to, well, continue to play that range game, maybe a little better than Villager, because actually, I take that back. But either way, they're not going to get to play the range right now.
Yeah, it's Rampage who's the one controlling the pace, trying to find a way in, trying to rack up some percent. They've already got Arsene. What can they do about it? Ooh, quick forward tilt. They're going to reverse the situation, but Rampage will find a way to make it back. The spike of that side B actually landing, and Rampage is up to 100% here early. The way Polo is doing damage right now is incredible. That forward air after deep breathing is going to take the stock, and Polo only 57%. He's on fire right now.
We Fit renowned for her anti-airs, and the landing nair pops you right up into them. That's why she loves that as her combo starter. So you've got to be aware anytime you're in We Fit's threat zone, though even if you're on the ground right in front of her, as you can see, she can poke at you with that jab, continue to swat at you with headers. Rampage might not even be able to get a stock as they're being lapped in percent.
Yeah, that percentage, ooh, good parry, twice, oh my, Polo feeling it right now. Stuck on the ledge. Ooh, the down smash, good idea, but couldn't quite get the read. Rampage now on after that dash attack. The soccer ball setup. What a great Rebels guard. And the early counter, they're expecting a run off order, but the spike of the side B is going to do it, and Polo evens things back up just in the blink of an eye.
6-6 right now between Old Dominion and New Jersey City University, and what a frankly impeccable display we just saw. I loved that bit of option coverage. That header, it can be very risky at ledge, but most people don't respect the fact that it has a hitbox on the actual hit. When you hit that volleyball, you're actually spiking it down. I mean, it's a header spike. That's what you're doing. And so by abusing that, by getting right in their face, they're able to cover a sort of drift out aerial and just a normal get up like we saw right there.
Very well done there by Polo, and really Polo from, I mean, what felt like the start was I mean, Rampage had that moment of, you know, had a little bit of combo game going for him, but outside of that, Polo felt like he was in pretty good control of this set overall. I mean, what, he ended that stock with, I think 60-70-ish% to his name.
Yeah, a little over 80, I think. So, like, kill percent for Arsene Joker for sure, but they were never in a range where you were really scared of that happening. It felt like the entire time it was Rampage in disadvantage, getting those stray hits, and we can see that in these replays right here.
Yeah, I mean, this was such a quick game. And what's interesting to me, too, from the Wii Fits that I've seen in the past, a lot of them tend to play that sort of game around the edges of the stage, right? They'll grab ledge, they'll throw the soccer ball, they'll just buy time and space for themselves and, you know, allow themselves to get deep breathing online, things like that. It felt like Polo wasn't afraid really of, you know, the ability to, or at least of the rushdown capability of a character like Joker. You know, that those anti-airs, things like the nair, the forward air was so clean here on the first stock. Just all the quick options shutting down so much that Rampage wanted to throw out.
Yeah, and now that I'm seeing it again, I feel like Polo was able to get in Rampage's head. Both of those stock takes, Soy, came from reading a jump at ledge, or rather a ledge hop. And I feel like that is a benefit of the crew battle format. The fact that you're able to see a player, watch their habits, you pick up on something your teammate wasn't able to quite catch onto, and then you get the hard punish. As we see here, we're going to see Rampage get knocked off stage, then they go onto ledge, they try to go, oh, I thought they were going to go, am I completely mistaken? Ooh.
Is it this next stock?
Is it godlike? Am I godlike?
Oh.
And they go up. They try to jump, and they get swatted right back down. Twice, they read that jump. The first time they covered it after the jump came out. That time, they smacked it right there. Great stuff right there from Polo.
Yeah, Polo seems to be on point here to kick off the day. And what a way to show it here. Now, he is the second member here for Old Dominion, and we're getting word of the the second player now being locked in for the side of New Jersey City. Royer Zamu is the name we're seeing.
Yeah, Zamu I am actually very familiar with. One of the newer players for NJCU who has been going on a tear in the ECAC. They're a Samus, and they are, might I say, very slick with it. They're not always the most optimal on the Samus, but who cares? It looks amazing, and it feels so oppressive, the aggression Zamu brings to the table.
Yeah, Samus versus Wii Fit. Not a matchup we often see. Feel like those projectiles can end up kind of contesting each other a lot. I'm not 100% sure how that neutral B interaction works, but that's the first thing I think of, at least. As you can see, they both start to charge it up to kick off this fight between these two. Again, things tied up here. So winner of this match will have the lead headed into that next set. And Zamu right now continuing to chip away. This Samus has not been touched this stock until the soccer ball lands, but the ledge trapping still able to get through it. There was Polo with the roll, and now it's Polo's time to go to work.
I've been sold on the fact that Samus might just be the best ledge trapper in the game with how this has been going on. And you saw that. They got 80% from one ledge trap, and that 80% sets up for a back air to kill off the side of Kalos. Now Zamu's up a stock, putting NJCU in the lead. And if Polo ends up on the ledge again, it's going to be exactly like that, which is sad because that's where Wii Fit loves to be. Oh, no. Oh, we're good? We're good?
Maybe.
Come on, Nintendo. You can do it. Pull through. No! Oh,
unfortunate.
Happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. Yeah, we'll be holding on here. Me and Soy very used to this. We've been doing online Ultimate for a long time now. And, man, it always is a shame to see, as it did look like Zamu was bringing a lot to the table, but you got to see a taste of what they brought to the table there. Like, they've got the very consistent Samus ledge traps with that down B, with that little mine, but then as soon as they see a weakness in that recovery, they go off stage to try and finish the kill.
Yeah, you could see not only were the bombs threatening the ledge too, but even after, I believe, the first one connected, they immediately jumped just below that platform, threatening that down air, saying, "Misspace this up, B. Don't grab the ledge. I dare you. I dare you to." And although we didn't see it, it's that threat that is going to stay in the back of that player's mind throughout the rest of the setup. I know he wants this down air, but how is he going to try and set it up? How do I have to work around it? And the scariest part too, I think you touched on it, was the fact that Wii Fit, a lot of them like to play around the edges of the stage. They like to buy time for themselves. And the fact that Zamu is able to pressure and play around the corner so well, especially around the ledge, that mitigates a lot of, well, what that character wants to do. So you have to really change your play style here if you're Polo.
Yeah, the thing that makes Samus's ledge trapping so legendary is not its all-purpose coverage. I mean, if you want a truly ledge trap that you cannot get out of, look at Steve. Steve's got a million ways to keep you at ledge, and you're dead if you pick wrong. Samus doesn't do that. What makes her so deadly is how quick she sets up the ledge trap. You saw that. She runs right up to the ledge, drops a proximity mine, and then starts charging a charge shot. What do? You get up into the mine, you get hit. You get up, you roll, you go into the charge shot, you get hit. All you need to do is hope that you somehow mess them up or completely read the option that they're unable to react to. But in theory, Zamu will never drop that. It's a game over scenario. And that is what makes Samus so deadly if you don't have a way off of the ledge, which Wii Fit doesn't really have. Like, she has some options. Like, I do know there are some advanced techs where if you drop down, you throw the header into the side of the stage and then up B, you can use the hitbox of your up B to, like, ricochet the... Okay, it's a very complicated technique, and that is how much work you need to do to get around Zamu.
Yeah, and that's assuming you can do it in that, that single moment, right? That's assuming you can come up with that solution after seeing what Zamu does. Because Zamu, again, like you said, very quick to set up those ledge traps. And also what you saw, I think, at least through that first stock, very clean kind of positioning, right? The spacing on things like the down B, the proximity mine, both off stage and on to cover, where they're up being to or where they might go to, and then also still threatening that neutral B. If they get the spacing right, you can cover just about any option. I mean, jump, get up, just about anything if you space that move right. So it seemed like Zamu was on point there, and we're still waiting to see how this one plays out. I believe we're just going to run it back because it was so early in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good news for you, I, and all of that analysis we just did, because, yeah, we are going to, like you said, run it back on Kalos. Same stock, same percents, as close as we can get it, because the whole lobby went down, and that is one of the few scenarios where I'm like, yes, the lobby crash. Because sometimes it's just us. Sometimes we have to sit here and be like, and it was, it was Polo 3-0. How did that happen? They were already down to stock. Like, stuff like that. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that. We are going to be getting to see the rest of this game because this is such a pivotal game. If whatever team goes down here, you're down to your anchor. And you have the chance of your anchor being crippled as well. And then, oh man, then you've got to worry about so many other things. So here's your chance to make things as even as possible for both Old Dominion and NJCU.
And the fact that these are, the second players of the roster of 3, to be on your last player early means you give, your opponent that chance to try and counterpick, right? Because they don't necessarily know, neither team necessarily knows who the third character is or who the third player plays. But if you have to send that person in early, now you give that little bit of extra information to your third team member, to your third player to say, okay, I want to go to this stage, or if this is the matchup, I want to play this style. And that extra bit of info, every little bit helps in a format like this. So having that ability to at least have the chance to counterpick could be really beneficial for these two teams, especially here early on in the day.
Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. The best case scenario for both teams, and I mean both, mutually beneficial, is to get down to that last hit, last stock. Because either way, one team is going to get the counter pick, one team is going to get a player advantage. It evens out. It evens out. So that is what they're fighting for. Obviously, you want to get a huge lead, and that's what Zamu was gunning for. But we saw how Polo was playing against Rampage. It is not going to be an easy feat whatsoever. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be getting back into this game as soon as possible. Everyone in the audience, I thank you so much for your patience as we're getting into this. Yeah, as we are going to go to the briefest of breaks. When we return, hopefully we'll be seeing more of Old Dominion and NJCU here in the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational here. We're getting right back into things. We're going to get these stocks and percents roughly evened back up. Old Dominion versus New Jersey City. Again, this is Polo on the Wii Fit trainer and Zamu for New Jersey City. And we're getting those percents evened out. Looks like this is about right. 120 on Zamu to Polo's 0% on his second stock, and I think we'll be getting things underway here momentarily, just getting the all clear.
They actually put the 1% on. You love to see it. Competitive integrity right there. Here on Kalos, as Zamu tries to continue this slight lead they have, but one hit from Deep Breathing Wii Fit will finish them off right here. Zamu is very well aware of that, though. They're trying to put them in the corner, but that Salute the Sun will finish the stock.
Just enough on the Salute the Sun, and early up B. Interesting. Zamu, he'll be able to get away for just a moment, and things evened back up between these two. But here, oh my goodness, he spiked the tether. That was so quick and so clean. Blink and you miss it. I mean, Zamu, that seemed like the smart option, and Polo read it like a book.
Yeah, we've barely seen Zamu go for that tether. I mean, it's one of Samus's best recovery options, but still, I love that. Using the low lag down smash to not overcommit on that. If they roll in, they're dead. If not, you have little enough that lag where you're not getting punished. As Zamu tries to reestablish stage positioning, but right now, it is Polo who's using the large bounds of Kalos to avoid most of Zamu's threat range.
Yeah, right now, Polo playing that classic Wii Fit game of playing to the corners right now. But they'll be able to make it back to stage, take a little bit of damage from the missile, but that was really it. They get out for the moment. Zamu right now on the left side platform of Kalos. Can't find a way in through that soccer ball. Is at 78%, and it continues to rack up thanks to that forward tilt. The missile actually drifting around the down tilt, and Zamu able to make it back to stage once more. Charge shot misses. Last hit of the forward air connects there on that platform, and Polo is now down to their last stock.
Yeah, right now, this is looking dead even. and I'm saying that because Polo is at ledge, but they're able to roll right on past. Zamu's not correctly positioned. Oh, look at that little mix-up, but Polo still gets the lead right there, able to stomp Zamu straight into the blast zone, and just like that, it is 4-3 in favor of Old Dominion.
What a play from Polo there. I mean, we were talking about how Zamu, the movement seemed so clean and so on point, especially the way the very first stock played out between these two. But Polo, the adaptation came through there in the end. Those down airs were so clean. It seems, again, the quick movement you pointed out seemed to be the name of the game for Zamu. But to catch the tether recovery twice after the spacing, I mean, using that drift seemed like such a smart idea, and Polo was just on top of it.
Yeah, they certainly were. This right now was looking very good for the side of Old Dominion, and I loved the way that Polo was able to use the fact that even though Samus has, quote, better ranged options, I feel like Wii Fit has faster ranged options. I mean, the header just moves so much faster, it's so much more unpredictable, and even though you can just hit it back, LOL just hit it back, that doesn't happen in practice, especially not on Wi-Fi where you can't react. Wii Fit becomes so buffed on Wi-Fi because of burst ranges. The range at which you cannot react to what your opponent is going to do, and Wii Fit's grows exponentially because of how fast that header moves.
That header was so clean, did so much damage. I mean, it all, like, Zamu, again, you saw, you know, what you were pointing out, the quick movements and the ability to get damage early, especially around the outsides of the stage. They were able, that forward air clipping above the ledge or above that platform was such a clean option. That forward air is deceptively strong at times, so very well done. And Zamu looks really good, but at the end of the day, Polo just, the read on the movement, the ranged abilities, just buying themselves so much time and space, the ability to chip away at that stock was just very, very well done by Polo. And because of that, they now have the stock lead headed into, or at least the point overall lead headed into, well, the last player for the side of New Jersey City.
Here is the thing, though, about New Jersey City University. Here's a bit of insider knowledge that I know, or literally anyone who has played in the ECAC for any amount of time knows. Cut 6 stocks from the side of New Jersey City University, and it's like 12 grow back in their place. Because coming in as the anchor is Hydra. Now, no fault to the rest of NJCU. NJCU is an amazing team, and let me just say, Rampage and Zamu, through the short time I have known them, have already grown as players so much. But Hydra is the OG. Hydra's been here since the beginning, and Hydra will see this through at the end. Hydra has been ranked in the top 20 online, I think twice, maybe just once. Either way, Hydra has been a regional threat, a national threat, a global threat for a long time in the Wi-Fi era. And, well, more specifically than that, they were uncontested the best team in the Northeast for a long, long, long time. And now the rest of the world has started to catch up, but that doesn't mean NJCU has, well, dulled their teeth at all.
We'll have to see. I mean, Hydra, again, like you said, he made a name for himself with the way he plays. This Palutena going to be fun to watch here. Now, he's only got to take a stock to even things back up. We'll see if Polo can get any extra credit on the board here for the side of Old Dominion. As we get ready, the stage, we're about to see it. It's Battlefield here for Polo's last stand here. Last stock for him, and 3 on the board of Hydra. We'll have to see. I mean, Battlefield feels pretty even off the bat, but again, Palu, another well-rounded character. He's got a lot of options, a lot of different ways you can play it, and can easily rack up damage.
Palu is so good against a lot of these zoning mid-tiers. I mean, I've always called her like the kills 99% of germs hand sanitizer, because that's what she does. Most people in the bracket get wiped out by Palutenas, and that's exactly what I was experiencing. All this disjoint, all this ability to contest with attempts at zoning, with both auto reticle and the fire, as you can see. Hydra is keeping Polo pinned at ledge, but this is where Polo has gotten their mileage before. Can they make this happen again? They get a grab.
That back air nearly finding its mark. 94% on Polo here, playing around this ledge. Starts to chip away with the soccer ball, but the Nair does so much work. Haven't seen them threaten that up smash yet, but we know that covers a lot of space of where Polo has been hanging around so far. Good back air there by Polo. Can't catch the up B. Good teleport back in. The soccer ball connects here, and Hydra's in an awkward spot. Good air dodge around, but they'll be able to get back to that ledge. Good air dodge as well, but at 91, this is getting scary for both players. Explosive Flame lands, and it will take the stock. It's just enough, and just like that, we're back to even thanks to Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra brings it back to 3-3 and now must face off against the anchor of Old Dominion. But I gotta say, Polo made that very good. I liked what Polo did off of one opening. They tried to hold on, but they didn't push the envelope, which normally I would have liked. Like, I hate to see players get a lead and then overcommit and lose it. But Polo, they got a lead, they got advantage, and then they shielded, trying to bait an aggressive option for Hydra. An aggressive option that they did. You see what it was? It was a Nair, a perfectly spaced Nair that shield poked the low shield that WeFit already had. And just like that, the opening was Hydra. Even though Polo did the right thing, they didn't realize their shield health was a little lower, and they got poked, and then all of a sudden, they're dead.
Yeah, no, I mean, when one Nair lands for Palutena, you know another one is coming, especially at those lower percents. And Hydra, I will say, between the two of them, Polo was able to battle back there. Hydra seemed like he was in firm control of the game through the early stages, but then Polo, the second he found some chip damage around that 45% mark, Polo really did start to weave his way back in. That defensive play did start to benefit him a little bit more. But at the end of the day, there's just so much to deal with when you're going up against Palutena. That explosive flame, if properly placed, is so difficult to deal with. It's got a surprising amount of knockback as well. The fact that it can kill relatively early is another thing to deal with. Auto reticle so quick can deal with things like the soccer ball for WeFit. It just felt like Hydra had an answer for all of the quick early things that Polo threw out that very first stock.
Mm-hmm. And that is the thing. That is why Palutena is such a consistent top-tier character, because she has a very consistent game plan. She varies it a little bit. She's not so much a play-your-own-game type of top-tier, but as long as you have the fundamentals, I mean, it was meant as a roast, but I feel like it's a good way to talk about it. Palutena is a conceptual character. If you understand the concept of what you're trying to do, the execution barrier is not that high, and Hydra studies up. I mean, they're all college students. They're all doing great in school while doing this. And, ooh, this is one matchup that can give Palutena a little bit of hesitation, as it is going to be Get Nikidon bringing out the Snake.
Snake, a very different character. We don't see a ton of snakes, but the ones that we do see, I mean, it feels like Snake, at least in my experience, one of those characters that when they've got a lead, they're terrifying because they can just trade away the damage and the stocks until you are done, over and dusted. But you also have to play that Minesweeper type of game, and so far Hydra not afraid to contest those projectiles, knowing that grenade, he's got to be able to throw it at some point. An auto reticle, the speed of it, just being able to beat it out. So far, well, percent's still low here. A very kind of almost passive game, and one that Hydra is benefiting from, is now he's got Snake above the up air dodged away from, but Nikdon is not able to really get too much here once he makes it back to stage. Shield low, 104, still trying to find a way back.
These trades are starting to come out, but thus far, ooh, Nikdon hasn't given Hydra that much reason to approach. That time it got a little iffy, but trying to go straight to ledge there gets covered by the up smash. Now with that platform or teleport to the other side of the stage, Hydra continues their consistent game plan, fishing for an opening right here. That Nair is all they need.
Look at all the damage. Ooh, but the grenade gets him out. Up tilt, not going to take the stock quite yet. Neither will the up smash. The explosive flame. Great coverage there from Hydra as Nikdon could not approach, and they'll shield that auto reticle. Approaching with the grenade in hand. Shield low once again. Actually, that up tilt, not going to take it quite yet, but has to find a way to take the stock soon. Hasn't done something like a dash attack yet to really get in, but Hydra's just done such a good job defensively. That explosive flame just covers so much, such a big body that Snake has to really work around with. And oh, he read it, but he didn't get it out in time. Great kind of maneuver there by Hydra. Just the late get up, getting away from Nicton. And 136, it feels like Hydra should be working on borrowed time, but the way they played this stock, they might end up taking it.
Yeah, I mean, with this play style that Nicton is bringing to the table, Hydra is in danger occasionally. It's not like Nicton never gets in, as you see with that up tilt finishing the stock. But Hydra doesn't feel the need to go in all that often. They get just as much from staying at a range as Snake does, and most characters can't say that. As with that percent lead they built, Hydra is able to get a stock with that up air juggle.
Last stock here for Nicton, and the last stock of this very first round here for Old Dominion, but can they find a way in? That auto reticle just so pressuring, and not an easy answer here for Nicton to find their way through. Good back air as well, early up B. How do they find a way back to stage? Good late air dodge around that back air. They get the forward tilt, the up smash will cover the ledge, but only for a moment. They reflected it. That's going to connect and get some extra damage on the board. The air dodge around the up air from Hydra, and go back to that passive grenade play. How do you find a way through this explosive flame? The up tilts are coming out, but they're not able to take the stocks quite yet, or not even land in this case as the shield came through. But the explosive flame, again, it's a wall. How does Nicton get through here? Something like a dash attack won't quite fight through it, and the grenades are getting beat out by it. And Nicton, the percent continues to rack up because of it. There's nowhere for him to go around the outskirts of this stage. He's at 135. One strong hit might be able to do it. Oh, he landed the first hit of forward tilt, but didn't follow through. And the explosive flame, not going to be enough. 149, and still holding on here, but he rolled back into it, and that's going to do it. New Jersey City take their first win.
New Jersey City University living up to their old reputation, getting this win, and it was not exactly without any faltering. Old Dominion definitely put up one heck of a fight, but in the end, Hydra was able to bring out that consistent gameplay that you needed. Like, you know, that reminded me of, you know, when you invite a friend over to your house and show them this cool new game that you got and you're beating them so hard in it. But then they pick it up almost immediately, and like, you've been playing this game for weeks, and they played it for the first day, and they're doing it better than you. That's exactly what Hydra just did. Nicton was keeping Hydra walled out, and Hydra said, "Okay, you want to play this game? Let me give it a shot. Let me see how I am on the sticks." And it turns out Hydra was pretty dang good at it. And Nicton wasn't able to find a way in until the very end. At that last stock, Nicton made the adaptations. They were finding the way in, but they were at 90% on their last stock soy. That's a little too late.
Yeah, I mean, again, the way in was just not very clean. It was almost like, you know, the wall of projectiles that you kind of know Snake to have between the grenade, the missile, and the up smash. Those projectiles, he kind of got out projectile. That explosive flame did so much work, that stock. If there was a way that we could find the statistics, I want to see how much damage that move alone did in the set, because it did so much work. There was no way through it. You can't do something like dash attack or roll through it. Snake's too big of a body, and there's not, you know, a lot of armor in that kit in the first place. And that move, again, just time and time again, found a way to, well, get the job done. It ended up taking the last stock at the end of the day, and that's a full 2 stock, I believe, victory that Hydra had at the end of the day. So New Jersey City looking good. They get the first win in their very first round, but still 4 more to go. And when we come back, our next matchup will be getting ready for Mount St. Mary's versus Loyola MD after a short intermission. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational 2022. We are getting ready for our second match overall on the day. It is Mount St. Mary's versus Loyola MD, and this is still the very first round of pool play, but this one, I mean, after the way that first match went between New Jersey City and Old Dominion, this one should be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that this is our last chance qualifier, a lot of these teams didn't always, I mean, a lot of these teams, we didn't get to do the deepest of digging on them. The one thing I do know, universally, is that these teams are hungry for this spot. These teams didn't get the chance at all to go for their, to go in on every single opportunity to get qualified for this Atlanta final. So now that they have this one chance, they are going to be bloodthirsty for it in a tournament setting, and I'm excited to see what these teams are going to be bringing out.
We'll have to see here again. This is just round 1 of pool play, but we are about to get underway here. First match between these two. Wolf versus Terry to kick off our day. Sherman for Mount St. Mary's on the Terry versus Amp, I believe, for the side of... Wow, already excuse me. For the side of Loyola MD, the Spartan.
This is not Loyola MD. This is St. Thomas Aquinas College. We might not have been in the correct match.
There we go.
But yeah, I do know St. Thomas. Yeah, I saw them just last night, and they put on a pretty good show, but they ultimately weren't able to win it out over, I mean, maybe one of the best college teams in the world, Bay State. But now they're going to get a chance to show what they've really got, as this Terry right here went on a tear.
We'll have to see here. Ooh, 111 to 69% of the dash tech. Yeah, that should just do it. So Sherman able to take that first stock off the board, but Amp is the one right now who has to find a way to try and even things back up. And this is where things can get kind of scary at 88%, not quite at kill percentage. And if you do any more damage, that go will start to come online and the extra power can start to come in. So Amp is going to have to play very carefully here. 99.7, so 0.3 separate Terry from go. And at 48, I mean, that's almost kill percent if Amp doesn't play carefully here. Gets that forward throw off stage. Down smash won't land. And Sherman waiting for his opportunity. Oh, pulled the trigger maybe a little bit too early there.
Beautiful full hop to avoid that. And an unfortunate mishap. Getting the flip off the stage. They are going to up B right into the underside. Now the shield pressure though. Those down tilts. Pompey not able to find a way around that, as now Sherman gets grabbed at ledge. Down throw dash tag, not quite true at 0%, despite what Wolf propaganda may tell you.
112 right now after that hit to the 12% of Sherman. And yep, just the side B. That move in itself has got a lot of knockback, and it comes out pretty quickly. So Sherman already with a decent lead here. Only 10% here on Amp's last stock, and he continues to chip away at it. Terry just so good at, you know, connecting hit after hit and racking up damage. But Wolf can also do a lot of work, but may not get the chance to, because Sherman is just finding ways to connect all of these hits together. 86 right now. Amp still in the corner here. Reverse hit in there into forward tilt, gonna knock them away. Almost found the forward smash, but the down B ends up saving Sherman and getting him out and getting even more percent on board. Tried to read the roll away. The power dunk, is it enough? Yes, it is. It's Sherman with 2 stocks on the board to take that first game.
Yeah, the 1-2, buckle my shoe right there from Sherman to clean that up, and that's all you really need. Those simple Terry bread and butters will get you so far. And some characters, they're able to, you know, SDI down and in, they're able to get out of those jab power dunk setups, but against a fast faller like Wolf, again, at most percent, sometimes you just can't. Especially online, sometimes you don't get all the SCI inputs, and you're not going to be able to get out of that combo. So it will be Ampe falling initially right there, as, yeah, we're able to see in these replays exactly how that went down. I mean, it really felt like it was Sherman just closing the distance, and even though Ampe was getting a lot of stray hits, it was Sherman who got so much more mileage after every single touch they got.
Yeah, I mean, and that's almost the Terry playstyle, right? All they need are those 2-3 hits that they can string together. They find a jab, they can instantly convert it. They find a down tilt, it's just going to be so much damage. And Wolf, I mean, not necessarily the lightest or heaviest, but, you know, when you're eating so much percent and you have those limited recovery options, you're only going to buy yourself so much time. And Ampe just not able to really get the full kind of extension off the back of it. You saw some kind of glimpses of good ideas, right? Things like the reverse nair hitbox, right? The backwards hit of that nair into forward tilt to try and buy him space, kind of tricky movement like that was really good, but those opportunities were few and far between.
Yeah, as we're looking to get into the game soon enough now, but coming in next to face off against this Terry is going to be Derpiger from the side of St. Thomas. Now, Derpiger I got to see just last night, and they got a couple very sizable wins. Maybe one of the better players, or at least one of the more experienced players in a variety of matchups, and that's exactly what they're going to try and put on display. Sherman going to try and shut down this villager menace, and quite a few villagers we've seen today, huh, Soy?
Second villager of the day, yeah, not a character we often see, but fun to see them here. Derpiger, again, here for the side of St. Thomas Aquinas, trying to even things back up. Has got the combo game. I was surprised that those two hits were able to connect, but Derpiger able to take advantage of that and get a quick 64 onto Sherman in the first 30 seconds, make it 70. He's still on the pace here, but there's a good conversion from Sherman. Gets Derpiger up to 32 and has him along the ledge.
Ooh.
Down tilts. Oh, he pulled the trigger late on the side B, so he'll get away for the moment. Dodge around the tree, but there's the bowling ball, and that is stock number 2 off the board.
What a whiff punish right there, as now they absorb that. Oh, and they actually use that projectile to get an opening on Terry. Great stuff right there from Derpiger as they set themselves up for a juggle. The way Derpiger moves, how aggressive they are with the float in, and the bowling ball drop almost finishes the stock right away. They miss that flower pot edge guard, but they still continue this ledge trap. They get the tree to grow at just the right time. Oh no! That's like stepping on a snake C4 that was planted 20 seconds ago. Oh my word. Sherman gets caught in the ledge trap, and that will be Derpiger, evening this up 6-6 right now between these two teams.
So well done right there by Derpiger to land that tree. I mean, that's a hitbox we don't often see, so very well done. But Derpiger, I mean, really, overall that game, just, again, it seems to be the case here. You come in, game 1 is kind of a blind pick. It goes how it goes. But game 2, the second player to come in just seems to have a very good read of what that very first player wants to do. Because, I mean, right from the get-go, it felt like Derpiger had control. Racked up 70-ish% and got the whiff punish, like you said. The ability to recover around the tree seemed smart for Sherman, and yet perfectly placed bowling ball right there, saying you are going to land right here, and perfectly is able to take that stock away. Very well done by Derpiger.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, that bowling ball is like the inverse of Palu's up smash, where instead of going straight up, it goes straight down. We see a lot of villagers use it on platforms to cover a lot of different options, whether it be jump, stay still, stay in shield. And while we didn't get to see it as much on this stage, I love that. And I love how even though we didn't see every option from villager come out, they were still put out there. We still saw Derpiger throw the flower pot off the edge to force a lower recovery. It helps them limit the opponent's options, and that in turn limits how many options they have to cover on reaction, which makes it so much easier in the long run.
Yeah, a lot easier, as you saw. I mean, just there was nowhere towards the end of that game for Sherman to go, right? He's able to make it back to stage here, but yep, that trade, that was a crazy trade too. For Derpiger, but still, things even back up because of it. Did not drop a stock, so it's 6-6 headed into game number 2. I believe we're getting. Actually, we haven't seen who's going to be locked in quite yet for the side of Mount St. Mary's, but we'll have to see here. The way that Derpiger is playing, this villager. It's going to be interesting to see who they counterpick, because again, villager, one of those characters not necessarily considered to be one of the higher tiers, but also, as you're seeing, can do a lot of work, can do some decent damage. You even saw in the last set the villager just being a blind pick into that first round, because, well, it's such a rare occasion. Sometimes it's just kind of that matchup check. We're going to see Zelda being locked in as the counter pick here, and I like the idea. It's going to be a matter of execution, though. I think that's going to be critical here.
You're 100% right, as you've got to be very careful with what you feed this little child. I mean, it can stunt their growth. And that's exactly what's going to happen if you end up feeding them that Phantom. Because that Phantom is a projectile, Soy, and if it gets pocketed, then Zelda does not have access to it. And that is one of Zelda's major ledge trapping tools gone, and you know Derpager is hungry for that opportunity.
Good grab there. Oh, wanted the strong hit of that forward air, but couldn't find it. Got around the tree. That's, I mean, Derpager right now, finding some of these tree setups is very interesting. All right, it feels like the tree is one of those things you can react to, but a lot of players are just kind of narrowly escaping that hitbox right now. And right now, Mythical Tycho, I believe is how you pronounce that. We'll call him Mythical right now, is struggling at 119. He jumped back into the Lloyd Rocket, but he's not dead yet. Still has the up B. He's able to get back to the stage, but that was a danger close moment for Mythical.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scared right here as, ooh, forced to go high over that Phantom right there, as it is going to be Derpager who gets the edge, but Derpager's awareness in these situations has been so good. They see one missed tech, they get that kill, and then that tree, it's starting to maybe sprout up soon at that ledge, but no, they don't want to deal with that right now. Instead, they just continue to pressure them. These up Bs have been a way through these walls. I'm wondering if Derpager's eventually going to get a read on it, though.
We'll have to see here. Ooh, roll in. Very close. That neutral B, good angle down, but there's the Knight kind of backing Mythical away for the moment. Up B back onto stage. Good kind of tricky movement there from Mythical. Up B won't land. Those aerials going to be also very important. The spacing on them. The forward air. Thought he was going to get the strong hitbox, but no. He'll end up reflecting the Lloyd Rocket, but not going to be able to do much afterwards. Derpager read the movement in on the up B, but couldn't get the punish off in time. Low recovery, still will be able to make it back, and Mythical, both he and Derpager are playing very dangerously. I like the idea for the up B, but no punish afterwards. That's a huge opportunity missed by Derpager. Thought he could catch that movement back in, or that drift back in, but instead, Mythical kind of gets away with one right there, and because of that, they'll be able to survive and continue to work away at this stock. Those side Bs forcing low recoveries, but Mythical hasn't been able to take too much advantage because of it.
Yeah, no, they have not, as I like the way that Mythical is playing this matchup right now. I mean, after they got that first jump red, or rather jump force, they're continuing to put the pressure on, but now these early up Bs, I was about to say they're being punished, but instead it's Derpager who gets clipped by it, and going down with that lingering hitbox is enough for Mythical Tycho to take that stock. Now, here is the thing. They're just about dead, and one stray hit will probably kill them, but still, you're able to get that off the board. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, well done there by Derpager. The two aerials there trying to find the strong hitbox. Ooh, the pocket on the Knight there. Very clean by Derpager. The forward tilting out space. And these early uppies, again, starting to kind of question how often they're being thrown out. But, oh, that's a good drag down on the Nair. Couldn't get too much off the back of it, but decent damage has been done. 42 to Derpager right now on their, or at least second stock. The up B again, gonna get punished here. 48 on Mythical Tycho. Still finding a way in. Haven't seen them land the strong hitbox of that forward air yet, and so you kind of wonder if that spacing is kind of getting into their head, because Derpager right now has a firm footing on this matchup. 103 right now, and the down smash won't land, but boy, oh boy, if it does, it could be the stock here for Mythical Tycho. Up B again in place, not gonna find the landing. Rolls back in the tree, make it 2-4-2. Mythical Tycho goes down, and Derpager still holds two stocks.
Two words for you, Soy, right there. Lloyd Rocket. That was what dictated the entire pace of the end of that. It's almost like Snake pulling a grenade. They're able to drop that Lloyd Rocket, and if you teleport into Villager, you're going to set off the Lloyd Rocket, and sure, you'll get a hit on Villager, but you'll also blow yourself up. And that's why we saw they initiated the teleport, the Lloyd Rocket came out, and then they teleported straight into the ground. Because if they went into Villager, they would have died. But again, That just felt like Mythical Tycho couldn't quite get the adaptation ready in time to deal with what Derpinger brought to the table. Derpinger was continuously covering option after option after option after option with that Lloyd Rocket, and they were using it as an approach tool as well. Mythical Tycho had their own game plan reversed upon them, and that was eventually, it took Derpinger a while to get there, but once they did, Derpinger looked like a formidable wall of force that Mythical Tycho wasn't able to find a way around.
Yeah, absolutely. Those Lloyd Rockets did so much, and especially the fact that those up Bs to center stage in particular are the moments I'm thinking of, right? That up B will clash, maybe it'll hit him away, and that up B, I think it's deceptively good, especially early on. That spacing can be very kind of ambiguous at times, especially because it's a teleport. You're not quite sure where they are going to go, and even if you have a read on where they are going to be, the hitbox I think is surprisingly large. It covers a decent amount of space, so if you're not quite ready for it, you can get hit by it and trade fairly frequently, as it did early on, as you saw. Mythical Tycho was able to connect a few, but as that game went on, you saw Derpinger became even more aware of the spacing, and just time and time again was able to get that Lloyd Rocket out and follow up, and it was very well done by Derpinger at the end of the day. And again, feels like a lot of kind of right ideas and wrong execution here from Mythical Tycho. Even things like the follow, the drop down neutral beat that we saw take that stock. Very good idea, but you're gonna only be able to pull that off maybe once or twice before they start to catch on.
Yeah, you certainly are, as we're returning to that all-purpose spray I was just talking about when we saw Hydra on the scene. It is going to be Dark Arrow coming in as the anchor right here, looking to turn things around here against St. Thomas. One more chance right here, and I talked about how Palutena does so well against these zoner matchups, but as you can see, she's just getting swatted around. Palu hasn't gotten the chance to put a move out. Finally, she does, but Derpinger still covers it.
Derpinger doing a good job right now. Only 6% here on that second stock. Remember, this is the last player for Mount St. Mary's. Their last hope to get a victory here in round number 1. And taking a loss here. It's not the end or anything like that. It is only round 1 for them, but it does mean that they will be on the back foot for the rest of pool play. Could air dodge in, but Derpinger starting to catch on once again. Only 38% so far, and the forwarders continue to chip away at this stock. 106 right now on Dark Arrow. Caught there, no jump. Early up B spike indeed. The down air is so clean. Derpinger has tied up the stock count.
And now with that tie, you can see, oh man, the aggression comes out right here. Derpinger has always been aggressive, has always been so powerful. The way they drift in with their forward airs, but not always, makes it so ambiguous. And they stall their momentum as well. They use Villager's floatiness so effectively, getting the shield on that reflect. It's right there, and they rocket, and their body is, oh no, the curse game 3. Is it gonna happen again? Oh, so tell me it isn't so.
It's every time. It's like you said, it's almost always the pivotal games, right? The last moments, either game 2 or game 3. But unfortunately, there you see the disconnect. But that's on our end. So we'll have to see what comes of it. But I mean, again, feels like Dark Arrow. You saw some good moments there, but Derpinger, I feel like he's just playing on fire right now. Feels like momentum is on his side.
Yeah, I definitely agree right there. And momentum, I really feel like is the best word for it. The way Derpinger plays. I was talking about it, I'm like, it's weird how Derpinger, they sometimes drift in fully with their fares, but not always. What is that? And the reason it feels so odd, the reason it's not just a mix-up, is because Derpinger starts with maybe a little drift back, maybe a little neutral drift, and then they get a hit. And then they start drifting forward a little more, slight drift in, and they're hitting the fares, and then full drift in. And that is exactly what they did to clean up in the end. Derpinger even won with 2 stocks. We're getting word now. It's unfortunate we did not get to see the end of that match, but St. Thomas, Aquinas University is going to be your winner right here in this first round.
Yep, so that is the win for St. Thomas Aquinas. That's their first win there in that first round. So they are now 1-0, and Mount St. Mary's, they fall to 0-1. But again, this is just the first round of the day. There's still plenty more SSBU action to come, and that is just round one overall. We got that third match coming up. I believe it'll be Howard and Loyola, Maryland, coming up soon. Actually, we're getting word that it's going to be NJCU versus St. Thomas Aquinas coming up. So that should be a fun one. And the way that we've seen these two teams play, well, it could be anyone's game. We'll have to see. After a short intermission, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more CECC Invitational. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup Mid-Atlantic Invitational. We are getting ready right into round number 3 on the day. Mount St. Mary's, I believe, or sorry, no, this is actually New Jersey City versus St. Thomas Aquinas. My apologies there. Rampage, we saw him earlier today on this Joker looking clean, but can he get the job done here against Zack Attack? That is the question. So far, so good. Things relatively even through the start of this first set.
I love the way that Rampage is mixing in fastfall and floaty EHAs to find openings, but eventually that one opening is all Zack Attack needs as they read that high recovery. Oh, that almost killed, but the rising tackle not enough quite yet. That one might just be it, no, but I love that Zack Attack is continuing to just fish for these confirms. Eventually one's gonna kill, just like that. It is 2 stocks to 3 in favor of Stack.
A very first stock there by Zack Attack, very well done, and continues to try and work away at this stock. But Arsene should come online relatively soon, already halfway there, and just at 20%. But this edge guard's so clean, the back air so well done, so well spaced, and Rampage finds a way to even things up just like that. Now, back to neutral we go between these two. These two players, I feel like the way they play could be very explosive. Just one opening is really either of these two, one opening is what these two characters need. Is there you see the stomp into the up tilt. Not a move we often see, especially when Arsene is online, but at 100% now, Zack Attack can do a lot of damage here if he finds a way back to stage.
I love that right there. They know that jab is not quite safe if you go for that full follow-up, so they wait through the jab and then go for that up smash. Now they use those down guns. They make it so difficult for Terry to get a lot of his recovery options on the board. If Terry doesn't recover fast against Joker, he might just be gimped.
That power geyser too nearly came out for the side of Zack Attack, but the smash attack beat it from Rampage, and that's why he is up a stock here. 48% here to Zack Attack. And he's off stage here as well. Still has his jump and the early up being too. Gonna clip those guns. You're seeing Rampage try and use those guns to try and gimp that recovery, but so far Zack Attack has done a good job of getting around those types of plays. The question is, can he get back in and find a way to seal this stock away? Kind of running out of options here, and he ends up pineappling himself. An unfortunate sequence there. Just too much of a drift. And it's Rampage who gives New Jersey City the lead here in round 3.
Yeah, Zack Attack definitely showed a decent level of consistency right there, especially on that first stock with that jab, uppy, power dunk, everything you could ask for and more. But as it went on, Rampage started to adapt more. Rampage was finding ways to drift back, using more aerials instead of those poking tools. Specifically, you called it out, those back air edge guards. Joker's back air, notoriously one of the most active and lethal moves in the game, even without Arsene. And they just used it to scoop away every single recovery option. Eventually, it was Zacatec who would run out of resources and forced into very risky low recoveries, as Terry's vertical recovery is not the best, as we saw towards the end.
It's also something that Joker in particular can try and punish with a decent amount of success, or at least relatively easier, although for the most part, it seemed like he was able to get around it, especially in the early portions of that set through the mid game as well. But at the end of the day, it is Rampage getting the lead there via 2 stocks, and that's a pretty decent lead, similar to what New Jersey City was able to do in that first match of the day that we saw them in. And so now you have that question of from the players that we've seen from Thomas Aquinas. We saw Ampy, the Wolf, in that very first set. We saw Derpager really clean house in the last match that we saw. We also know that Neo Joe is a player on this roster that we haven't gotten the chance to see yet. So now you kind of have that question of, do we send in the designated hitter and a player like Derpager early, or do we maybe see what Amp can do? A Wolf Joker matchup seems very volatile, and I think they're going to opt away from that here and just see if they can take out this Joker early. Derpager coming in here as the second man for the side of St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, Derpager gonna try to crack this nut as far open as you can, and I feel like Derpager does definitely have the most chance of it. The way Derpager, I called it out, they're literally momentum based with the way they drift in with these forward airs, and I'm curious to see how that bit of combo game is going to do against Rampage's defense.
We'll have to see if that is the question here. I feel like there's a little bit of maybe a stage discrepancy here, or lag test coming through. As you see, Rampage, he's ready to go. He's getting the tech ready. He's got the walk in place, and we'll get those things sorted out momentarily. But Villager Joker, we actually saw in the very first match. This is something that Rampage was, well, already playing in earlier today. That very first match of the day, he played up against a Villager. But I will say, Derpager's Villager, a different being, but a similar, I think, game plan already coming through. Good use of Rebels Guard to get Arsene online early, and he's able to up B and get back to stage before that bowling ball connects.
Does the early Arsene matter if you cannot lay a finger on them? They pocket that countered. Oh my gosh, that is a super powered Lloyd Rocket right there. And now Derpager has access to a double Lloyd Rocket. That is terrifying. In that back pocket. Oh, there it is. They use that to bait it out, but Rampage gets the counter on it. And now they have another Arsene at their first stock. But is it going to be enough? Oh, that lingering hitbox forces a high recovery right there, and Derpager is there to cover it. This option coverage, can you believe that they've gotten 2 Arsenes, and look at this, they're only at 27%.
Oh, the Nair 2, the lingering hitbox, so well done. Derpager with a solid lead here, and already chipping away at Rampage's last stock. 48% here, and just trying to buy some time here. Fingers crossed that this holds on, but it's not the case, and that is a disconnect, I believe, just on our end, at least for the moment. But we'll have to get word of those results coming through later. But again, it feels like Derpager, once he gets rolling, the train is hard to stop. Projectile after projectile. The fact that, like you said, he gets 2 Arsenes in the first stock and only 27% is done to Villager, that's a testament really to how Derpager is playing.
It really is. And I feel like it is, like, I talk about option coverage, but the more I look at it, it's less of coverage and more Derpager forcing options and then punishing you for choosing the correct option. Like, there was an instance where someone was covering at a low diagonal range. What did Derpager do? They threw out the flower pot below them. They had to jump. Otherwise, gravity would have finished them off. They would have fallen into the flower pot and died. So they jumped, but they jumped right into the Lloyd rocket that was right there. Their aerial drift wasn't enough. They would have had to do some incredibly tricky movement. They would have had to jump up with a neutral air dodge. Who does that? Nobody. Interpreter knows that. They force these options, and then when you're not prepared, 100% prepared to escape from them, that is when they get the actual follow-up.
And that's a whole almost mind game in itself, right? To force those situations in the first place really goes to show how Derpinger is playing. Even using things like you said, that whole interaction of the reflected Lloyd rocket as a bait to find another opening. That was really well done by him. And we're still waiting to see the results of that game. But the way he's playing, actually, we are getting word. One via a 2-stock there. I believe he's holding on to 2 stocks headed into that next match. So really solid stuff from him to get things almost back to even. He did, or no, he dropped 0 stocks. So it is back to even for that upcoming match. Now he will get a chance to be counterpicked in this next one. But again, the way Derpinger is playing, I mean, he feels like one of the stars of the show for this St. Thomas Aquinas roster.
Yeah, and here comes the kicker. Do you send in Hydra now? I feel like Palu maybe has a little bit better of a matchup than Samus. However, sometimes you like to save Hydra in your back pocket, and by sometimes, I mean pretty much always. NJCU is a very traditional team. They save their anchor for last. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
NJCU, come on. Are you listening to me? Are you in my walls? I know I'm in Jersey, but you're not that close. NJCU is, in fact, sending in Hydra, which I do feel like is the better call right here. Zamu excels when they're able to put their opponents off stage, and we didn't really see Derpinger force there that often.
We'll have to see. Hydra, again, kind of a... well, two players here, at least for both of these teams, that seem to be those anchors, those heavy hitters, the designated players, the quarterbacks of their roster, however you want to put it. These two guys, when it's all on the line, these two seem to be the guys to go in. So to see them in early is an interesting predicament for whoever doesn't come out on top. You know, and the fact that they'll have all 3 stocks to play with. Truly a battle of titans headed into round 2. We're getting those stage selections underway. Looked like they wanted to go to Hollow Bastion, but that is not a stage for this invitational, unfortunately. So they'll get that worked out in the end. But if you look at the overall scope of things, again, a couple of these matches are being played behind the scenes. But right now, this is potentially a battle for that first place seeding. St. Thomas Aquinas sitting at 1-1 with a bunch of other teams, but New Jersey City, they are 2-0. If they can get to 3-0, that would almost secure them a spot in that top 4 bracket. And for St. Thomas Aquinas, a win against the only undefeated team remaining through the first 2 rounds could do wonders for them in terms of potential tiebreakers throughout the day. So a very pivotal set or a very pivotal 3rd round here between these 2 schools.
Yeah. And especially because of the players who are being sent in. You called it out at the beginning. It's especially pivotal because these have been the major stock takers for both of these schools. So if you're down and out, if you are pretty much down and out after these players fall, the rest of your players will make a serious effort, but here could be where it is all decided. Hydra versus Derpinger, NJCU versus STAC. 4-letter acronyms, 3 stocks. Let's see how this goes.
And still a reserve player for both sides, but we know these are the titans of these 2 schools going head-to-head. Hydra versus Derpinger. Hydra, this Palu. That Nair, going to be ever important too. You know, once one lands, the Nair train just does not stop. And for Derpinger, he'll have to find a way in. Trying to poke away with these projectiles, trying to play keep away for the moment. Finds 2 up airs. Good kind of connection there. The Lloyd rocket also going to not find the mark, but the Nair on top of it and continuing to chip away is Derpinger. That's what Villager does best. But Hydra starting to find ways in now. First Nair lands, but can't get the follow-up on the up air. And I feel like both players, at least through the first 45, close to a minute here, are doing a good job of kind of taking their own space here and finding ways to weave in and out as both of them trading punches time and time again here. But it's right now Hydra who's on the press dash attack, keeping Derpinger in disadvantage. He'll have to recover low.
Oh, yeah, very low, and because of that delayed recovery, with the wall jump, they're able to linger, but the explosion right there, ooh, they tried to absorb it, but that lag you're in is an invitation for a back air right there. Hydra gets the first stock after such a good opening from Derpinger as they platform cancel right behind them, but Derpinger was ready to cover that option. Derpinger shows the awareness, but now you've got to find a way to take this stock as Hydra ladders them up with the explosive flames.
Be careful here. Finds a way back down, but he's eating 41% for it. Oh, what a catch on the up B. Thought Hydra was safe, but he says, no, sir, you are not. And Derpinger evens up the stock count.
And now, ooh, I love this right here. Tech chase on the platform, gets those forward air chains going, but Hydra is able to get out of that dead even game right here, played in center stage, but it is Derpinger who's consistently getting these pokes in. Now that they're not on the ground as much, they're not being exploited by the explosive flames quite as severely, but even with that little bit of adaptation, Hydra is finding the ways in. The scale flips, and now Hydra is the one who gets in, but I love that. The rapid jab to cover, throwing out the Lloyd Rocket.
Only 3% separate these two at the moment, but it is Derpinger with the percent lead. Still, things continuing to be racked up. Good down air. Once again, no spike hitbox though, so Hydra will survive here. Does find a way to land around that up smash. That was dangerous from Hydra, but still able to get back down to stage. Ooh, the forward air there actually connecting into the last moments of that Lloyd Rocket. Crazy kind of connection there. Ooh, early air dodge. This is a dangerous spot. Does he have enough gas in the tank? Yes, he does. That villager up B is crazy strong in terms of verticality. Because of that, Derpinger survives.
Yeah, and now, ooh, tech chase situation, and you know Derpinger never lets that drop. They get the follow-up right there, and Derpinger takes a lead against Hydra right here. This could be massive right here for St. Thomas Aquinas. Ooh. Playing under this platform, the drag down Nair. Hydra tries to get the follow-up kill, but they can't quite find it. And Hydra is giving a lot of respect to these big hits, these anti-airs, but they're still getting caught in these trades more often than not.
34%, and Derpinger continuing to work away. Hydra has got to find one of these strong hitboxes here and now. That explosive flame won't find the mark. The dash attack couldn't get it done either. And Derpinger just buying time. Wall jump to the back air. Gonna chip away. 58%. And Derpinger right now doing a very good job of reading some of these early air dodges. Back air is enough, so that one will be able to take the stock. We're down to last stocks between these two, and it's very dangerous, but still a lot of work to be done. And you can see a little bit of patience coming through both ways, but it's the percent that is slowly working in Derpinger's favor. This wall of forward airs and back airs doing so much work. Hydra's been pushed to the corner, gets around the tree setup, but the back air won't land. The axe finds its mark. The chop down, maybe. The tree falls, but it won't connect. The Nair now coming through for Hydra. Finds his way back on the stage into the back air. Can't get a second Nair, and that auto reticle or explosive flame, I believe it was, couldn't come out in time. 37% here on Derpinger. How does he find a way to get more on board? He can't find the landing, and it's just chip, chip, chip away. Death by 1,000 cuts is the name of the game. He finds a way back around the bowling ball, and the jabs at ledge won't work, but now there's so much rage on board. The tech, what a bounce off the Lloyd Rocket. Explosive Flame won't land. How does he find the killing blow here? 142. He should be able to find a way to kill this Palutena, but it's got to be down to a strong hitbox here. Got to be careful. The Lloyd Rocket won't land. And again, these forward airs just continuing to pepper away at that shield. No chance here. Up B will be able to make it back to stage. And what a great move around all those projectiles. 168. And it feels like one of these moves should hit, but again, just continuing to survive. The DI, the survivability is to on point. And the last hitbox of the up air. Derpinger is the one who comes out on top, and it's St. Thomas Aquinas in the lead.
It felt almost inevitable that Hydra was going to get that after they kept hanging on to that stock, and then Derpinger. That mix-up at the ledge right there was beautiful. They grab the ledge, they drop down, pressure the shield again with the Lloyd Rocket. That's 2 hits on the shield. Now, what would any rational player do? They would re-grab the ledge and hope Hydra doesn't get the punish. Hydra dropped shield to punish the ledge re-grab, and what did they do? Instead of re-grabbing the ledge, they fell down with an up air, knowing that Villager's obscene recovery would be able to get you back. Beautiful stuff right there from Derpager, able to get that mix-up, the 3-hit shield pressure at the end there to close out Hydra's stock. And now, St. Thomas Aquinas have the lead with their strongest player still in the running.
What a huge play from Derpager too. And I feel like we talked a little bit about this before. I think part of the beauty of Palutena is that you can play Palutena in a couple of different ways. You can be, more methodical about it, or you can be a little bit read heavy. And I feel like at the end of the day, Derpager, the fact that the mechanics and, those smart plays like, throwing 2 hits on shield in a situation like that, the fact that they were on point with something like that allowed them to have such a massive lead on the last stock. I mean, they were at 168 and Villager was still under 100% for how long that stock got dragged out. It felt like a ticking time bomb for Hydra, that you have to make so many right decisions against Derpager, and eventually you make one small mistake and they're able to capitalize off the back of it. What a set between these two, though. Very closely fought and contested between these two through and through. It was just that real one error. And that last stock, I got to give a huge shout out to the way Derpager played it so clean when it came down to it.
Yeah. Set of the day for sure. As now, someone from NJCU has to follow this up. Now, I know NJCU has 2 members in their back pocket. I would assume Zamu is coming out here, as I feel like Samus might have a slightly better matchup than the Pac-Man who purple runs. But that is not guaranteed. And either way, you've still got to get this stock off of Derpager, hopefully without bleeding one in return. We've seen Derpager sweep through these teams before and take down Hydra. That is no small feat, and Derpager has to be patting themselves. Oh, here's that interaction. They get that. They wall jump up with the forward air and fall down with the up air. Oh my god, that was a thing of beauty right there. Love to see that.
Yeah, that was so clean. And like you said, anyone else re-grabs the ledge there, and maybe there's a punish, maybe there's not. Anyone else, but Derpager saw the lines there, saw through, and was able to find that up air and take that stock. So again, Derpager feels like once he gets rolling, he's just so hard to slow down. He's playing on fire today, and that is a scary prospect for the rest of this tournament headed forward, as we're still waiting to see, I believe, who is coming in. It is going to be Zamu, we're hearing, for the side of New Jersey City. So that Samus going to be locked in here, trying to at least find a way to take one more stock off of this Villager. Samus Villager is a matchup, at least I haven't seen a ton of, and it feels very awkward because you have that pocket projectile, or the ability to pocket projectiles, but also how do you contest with the wall that is Samus going forward? It's like 2 walls closing in on each other.
It certainly is, and the one thing I am looking for is Zamu's ability to cover the ledge. Like I said, we just saw Hydra punish hard for the attempt to punish the ledge, for dropping the shield too early against the Villager's ledge pressure. If Zamu is not able to learn from that mistake, we could be seeing something a little more deadly. But already, I love this. Zamu's tricky movement might just be the thing they need, the key to get past this one stock from Derpager, as that's what they're getting here. But getting laddered, oh my gosh, the wall of pain. An early recovery forced right there, but Zamu is able to get the bounce right there, try to get back, but a low recovery force means that Derpager can finish that stock.
That was so well done. 33% too, and it's continuing here. Jump used, early air dodge, but they get out of it. Oh no, the early upbeat. There's going to be a chance to juggle here. But what a grab from Zamu to get out of that situation. Ooh. Run off down air, nearly reversed on Derpager. Really feeling it to go for that one. Upbeat again, burned early, but the fade gets Zamu back to stage, and he'll just continue to chip away at this percent here on Final Destination. Again, only one stock here. The fact that Zamu has already dropped one, it's a massive lead now for the side of St. Thomas Aquinas, but look at these, the forward airs continuing to buy himself some space to approach and move in and start to find that gap to possibly land one of the killing blows here. Zamu's got to be very careful. The grab gets interrupted there. Another early up, he falls out of it. Rapid jab gets the damage on board. Zare back to stage. Another up B. That won't kill quite yet, but Zamu knows that will eventually get the job done. What a catch from Derpinger. How did he know that neutral B was coming through?
I have no idea. I mean, what other ledge trap option are you going to do as you get trapped on the ledge yourself, buried in the corner? And just like that, this is very doable for Derpinger to sweep through New Jersey City University. Zamu, with one stock left to their name, is desperately trying to find the way through right now, but it's not manifesting, not quite yet. What else can they do? Finally, that nair. No, it's not going to be enough yet, Soy.
What a nair, but still surviving is Derpinger. 163, the last hit of forward air. That is enough to do it. So Zamu finally takes down the beast that has been Derpinger. But at what cost? He's dropped 2 stocks. It's going to be 1-3 headed into the final set between these two.
5 stocks against New Jersey City University, an undefeated team right here, as now Zamu has only 1 to their name. Now, can Zamu do this? Absolutely. But it's not going to be easy, as we have seen the quality of players residing at St. Thomas Aquinas is not easily matched. Not at all, Soy. And that, oh my gosh, that performance, I know Zamu's the one who just took that, but that performance from Derpinger cannot be overstated.
I mean, Derpinger, again, the way that Hydra looked at that very first set of the day that we saw, Hydra looked like he was on point. Like, he had the download, he knew what matchups he was going to come into, and he looked like he was going to be a threat headed forward in this tournament. And Derpinger has come in and, I mean, again, it feels like he is just snowballing. The second he gets rolling, the forward airs are starting to land. It's like if he's at the casino, he's just finding the bets. He's just finding the cards every single time right now. And the fact that he takes 5 stocks off the board, that's over half of what you start with. That is a ton of damage that he has done. And now, because of that, New Jersey City, they are down to their last stock here on Zamu if they want to try and hold on to that undefeated record here in pool play. But it goes to show how kind of equal the competition here is at this Invitational. Only one undefeated team through the first 2 rounds, and here a team at 1-1 could be the one to take them down. That makes the competition even closer headed forward.
It certainly does, Soy, as this is going as down to the wire as it possibly could. Zamu, the 1 stock warrior right now, is up against one of 2 players from St. Thomas Aquinas. Now, we've already seen Zack Attack. We have seen Derpinger. We do know 2 other players are there for them. Now, Samus, again, yeah, it is going to be Neo Joe coming out here. And Neo Joe, the thing Neo Joe has to be aware of is these ledge pressure tools. We saw the very creative options Derpinger was using to get around them, consistently using that pocket to trip up Zamu's ledge trapping, but now Neo Joe has to find a new way to do that on this Pokemon trainer.
Neo Joe trying to ice this game. He's only got to take a stock in PT. That is a character that is well known for doing so. But Zamu, that tricky ledge movement could be fun to watch here, could be interesting. Last time we saw Zamu, he actually got caught a couple of times, right? Those tether recoveries got down aired instead by Polo on that very first round. And Ivysaur, that down air is very threatening moving forward. So Zamu's got to play very clean here. Has to find a way to take all 3 without dropping 1. Last chance here to keep that undefeated record on stage, but Zamu already under pressure here thanks to the Squirtle combos.
Yeah, no jump right there, and that aggressive up B. They're going to drift back to ledge right there, but Zamu, there it is. There's the opening you need. Now Squirtle is out of that awkward percent where they can get counter hits. The platform drifting over gives Zamu stage control, but that switch right there, they up B straight out of the nair, and they continue the juggle right there. Juggling Ivysaur is always a tricky gambit, but Zamu manages to find a way to do it. Now the ledge traps coming out. This is where I said this game could be decided right here. Oh my gosh, the charge up finds it. 1 stock to 2 right now. Can Zamu make this happen?
Huge charge shot there. Has to find a way to contest this Squirtle again. Finds the grab. That was very well done. 37 right now on Neo Joe's Squirtle. The early switch here to Ivysaur once again. Zamu's at 46 here, so he's still got plenty of time to work with on Doc in particular, and here he continues to chip away now, trying to play patient for the moment, but ooh, that forward air into the up air is going to do so much work. 81% now. How does he find a way back to stage? Nearly got hit by that forward smash. Good spacing here by Zamu. Couldn't read the early recovery there, and now the Charizard is online for Neo Joe. Dash attack, knocking him away. Charge shot won't land, won't threaten the Flare Blitz either here. Instead, he'll just get back to stage, but the charge shot is doing so much work here for Zamu, threatening so much. Forward air doesn't land. Grab,
let it rip.
Down throw. Ooh, the back air
they messed up the roar.
Didn't quite land it. 146 here. Dash attack. There's the up B, but Charizard's a heavy character. He'll survive this. At 162, there's a lot of rage on this character. That back throw nearly finding a way to take the stock. Zamu, the missile connects and buys him a second chance here. The Nair, the backwards hit of it, nearly finding a way to take that stock, but he ran out of jumps or something there, an odd situation. So Neo Joe is on their last stock, and at 111, Zamu's got to play carefully here. Gets back to stage just in time. The forward air connects. The switch to Charizard.
Neo Joe
finds the charge shot, finds the dash attack as well. Neo Joe is struggling to find a way to land. The up B also connecting, 69%.
Oh my gosh.
And the jump to get around, but this is a grab. The up throw, not going to do it quite yet. Zamu's surviving.
Oh my gosh, Soy, this is going so down to the wire. The back air. Zamu is making this look so doable. The 3-stock to 1 comeback right now as Neo Joe. All they need is one mistake to capitalize. That's all they need, but these forward airs not landing. Zamu spacing around it. They're just dashing back, rolling back, getting out of the threat range, but the smack! That's it! St. Thomas Aquinas gets the upset right here over New Jersey City University. After Zamu did so much work, Neo Joe was able to pull it together at the very last moment, pull their team out from the ditches, and they are able to get the first win over the undefeated NJCU right here.
What a close one that was. My goodness. We're going to have to take a breath after that. I mean, that one in particular, there was so much throughout that set. The fact that Zamu was doing such a good job with the early Pokemon, with the Squirtle at low percents. He was getting, the early switches to Ivysaur and still finding combos. That was so well done. But at the end of the day, 110, and the distance that Charizard can close is surprisingly fast. And so because of that, well, it is St. Thomas Aquinas getting the win. They advance to 2-1, and we'll get ready for round number 4 in just a moment. We'll take a short intermission, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. More SSBU action after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational. We are getting ready for round number 4 here of pool play, an important one at that. Mount St. Mary's going up against Howard. And for Mount St. Mary's, we're starting to get into that do-or-die situation. They are 0-3 on the day, and if they fall once more, they might be one of those 2 teams that don't make it to that championship bracket.
And right now, that is the fire these teams might need, because they are going up against quite a formidable opponent in Howard Community College. Mythical Taiko, we saw them do some good work earlier, but can they mimic that now against Ghost? That remains to be seen here on Battlefield against Ghost Cloud.
First Cloud appearance of the day, but we saw, like you said, Mythical Taiko, this Zelda certainly had their moments, but couldn't quite get the last set when we saw them, and so far they are at the early deficit, but Zelda can certainly find ways to get early kills, especially if those strong hitboxes start to land. As the Knight setup there, not quite gonna get much off the back of it. It's Ghost right now who's in control of the pace of the game, and they find the back air too, strong hitbox and all, and just like that, they've got the early lead.
Yeah, and this early lead could be crucial right now, as, I love that. Mythical Taiko, we saw them using that up B as a mix-up a lot against Derpature, but eventually Derpature was able to catch on. And oh my gosh, Ghost just shoves that sword in their face again and again and again, and they weren't able to land. Finally, Mythical Tycho gets the edge guard situation, but I love that. That's the same mix-up they did before. Uh-oh, Ghost might be catching on, but that time Mythical Tycho goes straight to ledge, so not a complete open book right here.
Those up Bs, again, early on, they can be very dangerous, but so far, Ghost's movement is just on point, and not enough drift in that up B to get them back to ledge. That's going to be down 2 stocks. It is Mythical Tycho on their last stock. They couldn't get the sweet spot there. It's Ghost who gets out of dodge at 102, and halfway charged limit continuing to be worked up upon. The Nair's also landing, threatening the down air maybe, but won't pull the trigger on anything quite yet. Just threatening a lot of options, and then late Nairs are connecting along with forward airs. Ooh, the cross slash there, tried to catch him on the platform. Doesn't quite find the mark. Ghost is rolling right now, 102, and no limit on deck, but he does not care. He is hunting down this Zelda and continuing to be in their face. Speaking of up Bs, there's an up B of Ghost's own, and the drift on the back air is so clean. Ghost with a 3 stock to kick off the day.
No fear, like a zombie, Ghost drifts out, ever present, ever moving, going towards them, and finally they connect with Mythical Tycho. As Mythical, they were like, oh wait, that's getting closer. That's getting really close. It's like objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, at least when they've got a big disjointed Buster Sword. That is exactly what happened. They tried to throw up the Phantom at the last second to like force them back through sheer force of will, but then they were caught in the Phantom lag. They could not get out of it, and that was Ghost with 3 stock right there, showing why Howard was actually one of the teams to beat St. Thomas Aquinas earlier today, who we just saw upset New Jersey City University.
That St. Thomas Aquinas round was way back in round 1, and it came down to the very last stocks. Howard is one of the teams that's at 2-1. We've got a couple of them, including now NJCU and St. Thomas Aquinas themselves, and also Old Dominion is another team at 2-1. So a very kind of compact middle ground through the first 3 rounds for a lot of these teams, but it still leaves the pressure here on a team like Mount St. Mary's. Again, they need these wins in the next 2 sets. Otherwise, they might be eliminated early from the competition here. It is only the top 4 that make that championship bracket that we'll see later today after this pool play. And for Howard, they are now in contention because of NJCU's loss last round for one of the potentially top seeds in that bracket. They could really use a win like this, and Ghost showing why this team deserves one of those top seeded spots.
Yeah, these teams are coming closer and closer and closer, Soy. I mean, sometimes you come into one of these things and there's, one of your Bay States, your FAUs, they come in and they are like, oh, you know who's gonna win. This is not like that. All of these are so close, and with Dark Arrow coming in now to contest this, we're going to see another chance for Mount to take on Howard. I mean, they're at a serious deficit right now, but it is still possible.
6-9 in terms of the stock count, and the fact that the Zelda could not take a stock means that, yeah, this is basically a dead even game, but still, there's just so much pressure here on Dark Arrow to get something on the board, to take down this cloud and mitigate the damage that they have already done. And so far, playing a little bit passive, I think. 24% here through the first 30 seconds of the game, dealt in almost exclusively to Ghost in that moment, but now Ghost starting to amp up that pace, starting to run around, especially around this shield, threatening a lot. Dark Arrow, I mean, finding some openings here and there, but it's Ghost. The movement is just so tricky, and there's so much to worry about here. Threatening so many options. Ghost is all over the place. What do you do when the movement like this is coming through?
Look at the footwork, Soy. They're going up, down, around, all over these platforms, getting the parry into that blade beam, all charged up with a limit. That multi-hit will poke straight through Dark Arrow's shield. Ghost has yet to drop a stock right here, using Cloud's incredible mobility to mix up. I mean, they're making scrambled eggs right here out of all of Mount St. Helens characters.
Good nair there to knock him off stage. That up, he's not going to make it back either. Dark Arrow gonna fall there for Mount St. Mary's, and now Uppy caught there. What a great down tilt, but won't be able to take the stock. Oh no, it will. The Fate, I thought he was gonna have enough to get back to that ledge around those moves, but no, not quite. So Ghost does bleed here, does drop their first stock, but already, I mean, they've taken 5 and are working on their 6th right now. The way they are moving, it is like footloose here. They just continue to dance, and Ghost continuing to pressure with all these quick aerials, all these options, but right now it is Dark Arrow is starting to find some percent here for only a moment. The counter connects. He got through it. He didn't get hit by the counter.
What?
Everything's coming up spades for Ghost.
Ghost is looking fantastic right now. Slippery as an eel and twice as electric. And look at this. They keep just weaving around their shield, not always even hitting Dark Arrow's shield, but baiting an option regardless. They go to try and get the 2-frame, but they don't even get it. Catch them out of the teleport right there, and now they're looking to do it again. Smack him with the blade beam. Tries to cover it with the down smash. That was almost the read right there, but still Ghost continues holding on. Dark Arrow trying to hold on to this stock, but how much longer can it last with how Ghost is coming at you?
62% here. Not out of the woods is Ghost, but Ghost does not feel like he's in danger at all. The way he's moving, he's playing confident, and the up air seals away the stock. Dark Arrow will fall, and Mount St. Mary's are on their last legs. Ghost is on a roll.
Oh my gosh. Soy, we're trying to update our notes on Howard Community College. Are we going to get any other players but Ghost? Oh my god. The way Ghost... If there's one thing I say, do not let Ghost go back to Battlefield. Mount St. Mary's, if you're out there listening, don't take Ghost back to Battlefield. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, because the way Ghost maneuvers around these platforms, with the runoffs, with the coyote jumps, they're landing right on that, they're getting an instant landing on that top platform whenever they use that up B. Oh my gosh. As we're going to small Battlefield this time, at least that top platform isn't there, because that takes away that up B option. I mean, it's still there. Cloud up B out of shield is still a menace, but now you don't get it for free.
Yeah, that is I mean, the way Ghost is moving right now around the platforms, I'm a little surprised that we, aren't going to somewhere, a little more like an FD or a Kalos or something, but, comfort picks come online, things like that. There's a bunch of things to inquire about, but right now it is on St. Mary's to inquire about how to defeat this Cloud. The way Ghost is moving, he is very elusive, and there's so many things that he is threatening with all that movement, and it's something else to watch too. It's such a fast-paced game, the way Cloud or that Ghost is playing on this Cloud. Terry going to be locked in here for the last life here of Mount St. Mary's. They aren't done necessarily if they lose, but they're going to need some help, and that is going to be a scary spot to be in. Here we go. Ghost drops that stock because he dropped 1 to Dark Arrow, and Sherman will see what he can do here. Last chance for the side of Mount St. Mary's. Howard right now on a roll.
Oh, Sherman swatted out of their shield right there, and with that cross slash as well, Ghost is still able to maintain this stage control. There was one moment of neutral opening, and Sherman does get another right now, trying to find more chip damage. Normally, I would think of Terry as someone controlling this ground game, but they're not going to get a chance to do it, getting pushed away from this ledge. A low recovery is able to get you onto stage, but not for long before you're smacked off by a forward smash. Even stocks right now between Sherman and Ghost.
Ghost continues to just chip away here, only dropping a stock. 66% here. Terry can certainly take stocks early. especially if that limit gets burned. So that kind of recovery option off the table. 111, but it'll quickly snap back to ledge. Ghost is going to get hit there, and he is going to drop the stock thanks to the power dunk. So Ghost is now on their last stock, and Sherman's got 2 to work with, so he's got the lead. But what can he do about it here? Already so much damage has been done. Still has his jump, though. Up B, just barely able to get back. Has to shield that forward smash. Dangerous spot to be in. Up B at a shield. Back to that platform. And at 97, this is where things start to get dangerous both ways. That goes online. The edge guard attempt nearly came through. Roll back in. Down tilt start to land. Forward tilt to get them away. Power Geyser won't be enough to hit Ghost there. The spacing not quite right. And the early up B. Oh, a tragedy. Won't be able to snap to the ledge. Sherman's on his last stock.
Oh no, and with that crucial flub, this is an opportunity for Ghost right here. It looked like Sherman had to find the answer, but just like that, it's an even game. Sherman still has this ground control, though, to their advantage, but forced onto the platform. That's not where Terry loves to be. Jab, jab, power dunk gives you stage control again. Looking for this edge guard right here, this edge trap with the down air, but trying to call out a recovery option with the up B will be answered by the sword of the up B right here. The climb hazard is enough. Right now, Ghost is getting the opening they need.
Good cross slash, sorry, not limit cross slash, but the damage on that move is still absurdly strong at times. 70% right now, and limit should come online momentarily. There it is, possibly looking for the read. Ooh, actually, I think he wanted to roll there, but didn't get it with that up B. Looking for a little bit of style here because Ghost right now is moving. He will die there, but the survival.
Gosh.
Thought the forward air would be enough, and Sherman ends up living through it. He's on his last stock, but Mount St. Mary's is not done yet.
Ghost bet it all on that forward air right there. They thought it would spike. They knew it wouldn't kill off the side, but they thought it would spike. It has that spike hitbox that everybody knows. Haha, funny forward aerial meme. But, like, they didn't hit it. They didn't hit it, and that is why you do not overcommit with those forward airs. But I do not blame Ghost. They were feeling it. They felt like they had it. Terry has somewhat of a linear recovery, so they thought they had the lineup. It did not happen, and of course, Sherman with the intelligence to hold on, stall in the air with that burning knuckle. I'm not even sure if they could have made it back to stage, but it does not matter. Cloud can't stay out in the air, and that would be that.
Yeah, and I mean, at least on the plus side, we get to see a second player from Howard, but the damage has been done. Ghost is a monster. I mean, we were talking about the players here who look like they'll be the anchors for their teams, right? We saw Derpager, we saw Hydra. Add Ghost to that list. 8 stocks taken in this match alone, and Howard, they've had some big wins. I mean, even the last round that they played, they got a 7 stock victory over Loyola, Maryland, who is still one of those teams in contention here in these pool play rounds. So, I mean, and I gotta assume a good portion of that is Ghost. The way he's playing, I mean, there's something to be said about playing with confidence, and Ghost certainly has it.
Not just confidence, style. I mean, the way Ghost is maneuvering their character, it is a sight to behold. As now Vexel comes in, only 1 stock on the board remains for Sherman, but as we saw with Zamu, 1 stock can be stretched a lot farther than you would ever expect. So Sherman still has an opportunity here to keep Mount St. Mary's in this.
And the Rosalina Luma, again, another character that we don't see too much of. But what's interesting is, you know, how is Terry going to be able to deal with the Luma in the first place? And I think the answer is very easily. Those dash attacks, those side Bs, the shield from Rosaluma does not cover the Luma. And because of that, you can get rid of Luma fairly easily. And
that landing hitbox. Oh no, Sherman. No.
Throw all analysis out the window for that set, because that's a tragic one. Oh, what a way for it all to end there. Sherman, not even a chance to get things going there, and possibly about that comeback. His first stock looked so clean. He's got Rosalina Luma up to 97, the lighter character, and he doesn't get the chance to get back to stage. A tragedy for the side of Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, throwing Terry's trucker hat on the ground and stomping on it right there. That was a heartbreaker, but also trying to be like, it's even, it's even. No, that was Howard Community College all of the way. Mount St. Mary's, I mean, definitely Sherman mounting a good performance at the end, but it was not enough. The lead that Ghost built was insurmountable, and all they needed to do in the end was clean it up. And it was surprisingly easy, but they were still able to find the way to do it, still able to maintain that resolve, and that is why Howard Community College will be, moving on into this final bracket, and they are one of the teams to keep an eye on. The only team they have dropped to is NJCU, but NJCU has shown today they are not immortal. Gods do bleed. And so there is a chance that Howard Community College could be coming out in this Mid-Atlantic Invitational. Be sure you're following all the way to the end of this bracket later tonight.
3-1 on the day, and Mount St. Mary's, although they fall to 0-4, they've still got one more round to play out. It's actually against New Jersey City, but we will be getting ready for our next match of the day. I believe it's going to be Loyola, Maryland, who we have yet to see, going up against St. Thomas Aquinas, a battle potentially for that final playoff spot, depending on the results of this round 4. We'll get those results after a short intermission. Don't go anywhere. CECC Invitational is back after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic SSBU Invitational. We are getting ready for round of pools number 5 here on the day, the last one for a couple of these schools, and a big one at that. Our 5th and final round of pool play before we jump into that championship bracket. Loyola MD, who we have not gotten the chance to see today, is going up against St. Thomas Aquinas, who is still vying for potentially the number 1 seed overall in the bracket.
Yeah, right now, right here, Loyola, they have put up a good fight thus far, but this might be done and down for them. If they played literally the perfect game, they could qualify for the final bracket, but the eyes should be on St. Thomas Aquinas right now. If they're able to win this with enough stocks, they can secure the number 1 seed, which is being hotly contested because all of these teams are losing to each other, but not in the same order.
It is a wild kind of split. There's 3 teams currently sitting at 3-1 overall. St. Thomas Aquinas is one of them, and they are looking poised and ready for that number 1 seed, especially if they can handle business here against Loyola. We're seeing Zack Attack going in first here for the side of St. Thomas Aquinas on this Terry. We saw him earlier. Ryan is the Samus that you're seeing on screen for the side of Loyola. And so far, things relatively even here through the first 20 seconds as both players not afraid to just, bide their time and set up from across the stage.
Yeah, Ryan playing a very retreat-heavy play style, and Zack Attack has not forced them to give up that range yet. And, if you're playing to try and get that perfect scoreline, Ryan is opening up exactly how you should. Forcing Zack Attack to approach, and then smacking them away for even daring trying to do that. Why would you try to approach? In a Smash game? Come on.
I'm flashing back to the skit from Summit with all of the famous commentators. Never approach. Can't.
That's
hit.
exactly what you do. But
Right
that
now.
is optimal against a short-range character like Terry. That approach is optimal. Terry, powerful limbs, but very short and stubby, as Zack Attack is finding. But Ryan, they are also finding that Zack Attack is getting these waves in, eventually able to finish them off before Zack Attack is able to use Go, though.
Yeah, the missile there kind of locking him in shield, and the second he drops it, the dash attack comes through. That dash attack deceptively strong, and that charge shot too. Ryan doing a great job here of chipping away at this stock. 71 right now on Zack Attack, and that dash attack, again, going to force him away. Go not quite online yet, but he won't get the chance to use it again. The charge shot lingering there on the ledge. And just like that, it's 3-1, make it 2-1 as the power dunk ends up taking that stock.
Loyola, though, putting up quite a fight right now as CECC is faced with the possibility of getting 2-stock. Controlling this ground game, though. Ryan has not been able to force CECC away as they like to do. Tries to fall through the platform, but right on the ground. That's where Terry wants you. They're able to get the opening with that nair, but not able to follow it up with a power dunk. But the constant pressure continues. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Loyola anyways, Ryan has that up B. They're able to use that get off me tool and continue the pressure right now against CECC.
And Nair gonna connect. It's Terry who's off stage at the moment. Ryan, good air dodge back in. Or sorry, CECC able to air dodge back in. And ooh, actually, yeah, I like that up B to try and catch him. Just doesn't get all the hitboxes together and can't rack up that damage. But speaking of up Bs, the up B from the Samus can be deceptively strong at times with Go Online. Things are getting scary here for Ryan. Gotta play very carefully here. Oh, he turned the power geyser around, and because of that, well, CECC gets to survive on this last stock, and a forward smash just is enough to do it from center stage. And it's Loyola with a 2-stock lead here through this first set.
Yeah, St. Thomas down in the initial stages right here. You got to remember, St. Thomas, if they want a chance, just a chance at that #1 seed, they have to win it here and now. If they don't get that, then Loyola can, well, foil their chances of being one of those higher seeded teams and also get a very good win under your belt. I mean, beating the team that beat NJCU, transitive property, means you just got a massive win if you're Loyola. So they have a lot to fight for right here.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And Loyola, they know they are not technically done and out quite yet, but they also know it's going to take a lot for them to come back. Not only do they have to win this one, but they also have to hope that Old Dominion loses their match. That is also going on. Old Dominion, by the way, gets Howard in this 5th and final round, who we just saw. Howard looked really good. Well, Howard also looked good because Ghost looked really good on that cloud, so that's a tough matchup for them, but that is a pivotal one that we will keep our eyes on as this one gets going. But it is, for the moment right now, St. Thomas Aquinas on the back foot. CECC dropping that first set. And now you wonder who you send in to try and counter this Samus. We've seen Ampy's Wolf. We've seen the PT from Neo Joe. But Derpager is really that anchor that on this villager. We've seen twice come in that second slot, and we are getting word that for the 3rd appearance on stream, he'll make his 3rd appearance as the second man in for Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, after Neo Joe's nail-biter of a set against Zamu's Samus, I expect they do not want to play that matchup again, so pass it off to the anti-zoner himself, Villager. Now, Derpager has shown, again, this momentum-based playstyle we've seen, where they get one little tap, one little chip at the block, with that forward air, and then it just builds and builds and extends, and there's not a lot you can do to keep it from snowballing into your stock being taken.
And the timings of those aerials, too, is very important, right? It's not that he's just using them after a jump. It's that he's using them in succession to link them together so that once you're in hit stun, the moment you're out of it, another arrow is right on top of you. He just continues to space those so well. And we'll have to see what he can bring to the table here again against a Samus that it's interesting. This Samus versus the Samus that we saw earlier, very different, right? You know, we saw New Jersey City. That Samus is very much so playing around the outskirts of the stage, playing fast. This one more so, I think, is about playing more of that, you know, zoner spacing game, right? Play more around the projectiles, buy a little bit more space, but then use those big disjoints like the forward smash, you know, that the reach, the full extension of that move, just the edge of it is what's landing here for the side of Ryan.
Yeah, and Ryan has shown that forward smash to be one of their great tools. I mean, forward smash in general has always been great for Samus. The fact that it's so fast. I mean, Samus's smash attacks look like tilts, and her tilts look like smash attacks, and there's not really a reason for that. All I know is that it is terrifying that Samus's up tilt does that, and I'm shocked we haven't seen that more. That There are a few moves I'd call like a cheater move. That move scares me. That move really does scare me. And with the way that we see Derpinger float around at times, I would not be shocked to see that floatiness come out.
We'll have to see here. Derpinger coming into the arena. They are down 2 stocks here, but still got 6 to play with. Derpinger's got 3 of them. What can he do against this Samus? Final destination, the site of, well, set number 2 between these two. And just the quick run off to get the stock counts back to even. And here we go. Final destination 2. Going to be interesting. Again, nowhere really to run to on this stage. You and I have talked about it in the past. This is a stage that when you're in disadvantage, it is so hard to get out of. It feels very double-edged swordy. So this is going to be an interesting one to watch. I think he wanted to pocket the charge shot, but it got interrupted there instead. Either way, it is Ryan who's taken a little bit of a deficit here. Still hasn't found a way to scratch Derpinger's stock until that moment. Up he connects, and well, the first hit lands, but he's already got 53.
I love the way that Ryan, even though it hasn't been hitting, is zoning and poking with the Zair. But that is really the only advantage afforded to them, as that bowling ball will end up finishing off Ryan's stock. The parry right there into the tree chop, into the tree, falling on them. 44% from one hit right there, and they absorb that up. 73%. The log extends this combo, so it's not done yet.
Not done yet. Ooh, good nair to knock him off stage. That Zair was dangerously close to getting caught by the bowling ball. And the up air, strong hitbox, and all seals it away. Derpinger, solid control in that matchup. He evens up the score. And just like that, 2 players apiece are on the line here.
Wow. Just wow. The way Derpinger goes into the corner when it, like, honestly, I think the time when Derpinger is the most terrifying, Soy, is when their opponent is coming down off of the Angel platform and they have a tree set up in the corner. The amount of times I have seen that situation, someone with platform invulnerability get reversaled, is astounding. Derpinger always finds a way to turn that around. A parry into a tree chop, into the tree falling on them, into throwing the log at them, into a pocketed missile, finishing the combo for 91%. What? What? Okay, sure. Like,
yeah, it's something else to watch too, and it's not just that; it's that it keeps happening. People are still, today falling for it, and there's no real easy answer other than just don't approach or don't go in, don't fall towards that tree. That is a trap. That is a disguise that Derpinger has used a couple of times. And here's an interesting little bit of a mix-up. We haven't seen King Dedede today, and that's going to be the answer for Loyola into this villager here. MBB being locked in, and Final Destination, the run backstage.
Yeah, using Dedede's unique reflector right there, but Derpinger already evens up the percents. Using this Lloyd Rocket to cover the ground as they approach in the air. The 2-pronged approach has been very good for making sure that no one can really get a solid defense going, but all the inhales in the world can't save you from 2 projectiles at once. The gullet is not quite big enough.
Continuing to chip away with all these forwarders. Such a big body, too, is just going to be hit by so many different projectiles. You got to worry about, how that Gordo is going to interact as well, especially if something maybe like a strong hitbox connects, but you got to worry about something else. The Barry lands into the, the bowling pin, and because of that, MBB is holding on to this ledge for now. They're at 129, but it feels like they're working on borrowed time. 40% right now on Derpinger's first stock, 132, 138. These forwarders just doing so much work. Great parries, but has to roll out of it. There's nowhere for him to really go. And just this huge body of King Dedede is getting hit time and time again. Ooh. And Derpinger's spacing is so clean. The Nair also connects. There's nowhere to go except for straight into the bowling ball. Derpinger's got the lead.
And here's the setup. They don't overcommit like that. And what I have been seeing, Soy, is Derpinger throws out this Lloyd Rocket, and when Dedede is in the very slight inhale lag, that is when Derpinger goes in to strike and finish them off. That little interaction right there, look at that. They wait for the inhale lag, and then they go in and they get a hit on them. They sometimes get counter hit, but even then, they're always getting a hit out on DDD.
It's so smart too, because that is the move that you know he wants to use to try and counter all of these projectiles. So to space around it so well and find ways in, find the counterplay, it's so well done by Derpager right now. He's got the stock lead, and he's already got MBB up to 112. DDD can take stocks relatively easily. They've got a decent amount of kill power in their kit, and they are a heavy character, but the problem is they just can't find a clean way in. They gotta fight through all these projectiles, and the strong hitbox of back air connects, and just like that, Derpager has taken 2 stocks off the board of this DDD. That's 3 in this match alone, and he's looking for a 4th here, but at 108, he's got to play a little bit more carefully here. Playing around center stage, and gets the grab, and the combo continues to be worked away at.
The way Villagers combos are just little taps that lead you to your doom. I can't believe that. Finally, the down tilt will finish off that stock, but is it too little too late? Can MBB bring this back? They look so clean in the opening stages of this match, but Derpager found the counterplay to all of their mix-ups, and now it feels like every single time Derpager has the edge in these interactions, landing on top of them, but Derpager falls right back down to the Gordo into a forward air of their own, enough to finish off that stock right there. MBB falls, and Derpager proceeds on with still 2 stocks to their name.
What a play right there. And again, the tree is a disguise in that last very moment. He uses the tree setup. You think, okay, maybe he'll try and get the axe ready, or maybe he'll try and use that tree to cover the landing, but instead he plants the tree, grows it, and then instead immediately goes for the edge guard. And such a smart play there too. Pocketing the Gordo is one thing, but then also landing the Nair into the Gordo afterwards. The fact that the spacing of those aerials is just so on point, it's beautiful to watch. And Derpager showing why he is a menace in this bracket.
Yeah, and what I also loved about that, Zoe, they didn't have anywhere to go. The tree was right there. They would have had to commit to a roll or something. That landing was more or less stuffed out as soon as they began to initiate it. Right there, MBB annihilated. And now one last hope to maybe get something going against Derpager. We're not sure who it's going to be yet. Okay, Aaron the Great coming in. And, well, they better live up to their name if you want to contest Derpager. That's all I'm saying. You saw them, Aaron.
We're getting word that PS2 is the stage. And like you said, Aaron has got a full ahead of him. Again, this is Loyola's last legs, but St. Thomas Aquinas, they are looking to try and secure themselves that #1 overall seed. If they get a large enough margin of victory here, they might just be able to pocket it all themselves. But here we go, Hero being the character of choice to try and counter this Villager. Last player, 3 stocks on the board for Loyola against Derpager, the anchor of this St. Thomas Aquinas roster. Now, Hero is a very, I feel like, I mean, he's the roulette wheel, right? You never know what spell you're going to get, but we've also seen Hero, because of things like the critical hits on smash attacks and the number of spells that just have so much power, they can take stocks fairly early. So it's a question, I think, of, can those hits be connected together? Because right now, Derpager is not going to allow you to have the time to connect hits together. The tree shield breaks at 52. The bowling ball is going to seal it away. Derpager does not care what you have online in your menu. He will take it to the house. Derpager is up and evening the stock count, but everything is coming up his way.
Oh my gosh, the way he drifts back with all the aerials. Derpager is so safe yet so deadly at the same time. With the grab right there, and you can see now Aaron the Great has found a time to start sifting through that menu, but they're not finding much of anything so far. Lands with that fair. The Kaboom gets stuffed out by a projectile of Derpiter's own. And with that forward smash as well, look at this. The air dodge is forced. Derpiter isn't there to cover it for once. But Aaron the Great only has one more chance right here as they're sent onto this platform tech chase. Here in the corner, I'm terrified for them. They can't get out. Forced to a very low recovery. Not pineappled though.
Good recovery there, avoiding that pineapple like you said, but they're playing around very low MP as well. A lot of those spells, especially the heavy hitting ones, are going to start to come offline, especially if he needs to use something to try and recover as well. Got to play. Excuse me? I thought he got the Keklang out in time, but maybe he opted away from it. Either way, Aaron the Great is on his last stock, and Derpinger try and ice it all by himself, but he might drop this one. Oh my, he bet it all on green and it didn't come up. That's the way Derpinger is playing right now. It is just, he's just on a roll. 129. Can Aaron the Great find a way to take the stock? Maybe an up throw? No, forward throw instead and psych up online. But it feels like he's still working on. Oh my gosh! Goodness. Hey, did you drop something? Here, catch one of these, he says, and it gets instantly thrown back, and Derpinger gets the win for St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh my gosh, the cards were not in Aaron the Great's favor, and it was mostly Derpinger's game plan. But hitting Derpinger with a thwack at above 100 and it not killing, oh, what a heartbreaker right there for Aaron the Great. That is a sign from above. He maybe just has to run it again in another match, as St. Thomas Aquinas definitely with that score differential. I'm not going to say they have gotten the #1 seed yet, because that it remains to be calculated, but they have definitely made their strongest case for it, as that was a dominant display from Derpinger right there. Whew.
I mean, all of that was just so fun to watch. Derpinger is on a roll right now. He looks like the player to beat in this bracket, because he is just tearing up a lot of teams the way he is playing, and that is a huge win, like you said, for St. Thomas Aquinas. We're not sure about those tiebreakers quite yet. We're still waiting to see some of those results, but we'll get that all calculated and ready for you after a short intermission. When we come back, it's playoff bracket time. Top 4 teams, single elim should one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational. We are getting ready for the playoff bracket here. Our top 4 teams from pool play are decided, and the standings have been set. And today, well, at least for the rest of the day, it is one and done now. The postseason is here for these schools, and it is going to be our #1 seed, New Jersey City, getting that #1 overall spot, going up against Old Dominion. So a rematch of our very first match of the day to kick off our playoff run.
Yeah, this came down to the wire, but ultimately Hydra cleaned up shop. But it wasn't the closest. I mean, out of all of the matches we saw between these top 3 teams, it was the only one that didn't come down to last hit, last stock. But that's not really saying a lot, because it came down to 2 stocks for Hydra. Like, that's not a crazy difference. That is not like, it was unwinnable last time, GG's go next. No, they have a real shot in this. Old Dominion could take this home right here if NJCU isn't ready. And after taking an L earlier, I feel like they are more than prepared, but Old Dominion has some tricks up their sleeve.
It's certainly a quick turnaround too. Not a lot of time for these schools to prep for these matches. But now, as you've said, you've got that little bit of knowledge of how these teams like to play, the character selection that these schools have kind of opted for. So we'll have to see how this plays around the second time. Again, it is one crew battle, one and done. It is not the classic Esports U set of best of 3. So every stock's so important. Every counter pick is going to be vital to these 2 teams' successes. And again, I think the emphasis has to be on players, at least for New Jersey. I'm looking at Hydra and Rampage in particular. Rampage has kind of been the go-to lead-in type of player. They often kind of lead him in as the blind pick. And I think it's given them, for the most part, a great advantage, because Joker pretty solid character overall, and especially against, if you look at Old Dominion's cast of Villager, Wii Fit, and Snake, pretty solid matchup still. Maybe not quite, super advantageous in any of them, but also certainly not disadvantaged in any of them in a harsh manner.
Yeah, certainly not. As we're going to be getting in right now, I'm looking to see some key gameplay adaptations right here, or a complete switch up, as INDX is going to be coming in from Old Dominion University, taking on Rampage, the classic opener right here. Now, I feel like Joker does obviously win this, but there are definitely a lot of tricks you can do, and I do certainly mean tricks, because that smoke bomb that he drops down, well, not only does it pack a punch, but it also gives so many mix-ups to Toon Link's movement.
Watch how he plays around those projectiles. It feels like Rampage has been dealing with projectiles all day. A lot of these first matchups for him have been, players like Villager, like Toon Link, like Efit, I believe we even saw it at a point as well. So he's had to deal with a wall of projectiles all day long, but so far, INDX, well, things are relatively even here. I mean, the percent's fairly even, and so far, Index has been the one kind of in control of the pace, running away very well from this very scary Arsene, until that moment jumped in the back air right before Arsene expires, and Rampage has got the lead.
Threads the needle through that bomb toss, and just like that, Rampage holds that lead. Now looking to put Index back on that ledge, but they're not going to get the chance. Juggle situation right now. They cover the middle, and then when they see Rampage isn't drifting that way, they run over and grab the other side. Option coverage right there, forcing them to drift towards the corner and then punishing them for going there.
147 right now on Rampage, still trying to find some extra credit on the stock. He's done 24. But Index is trying to find something. One strong hit is all he really needs to be able to take this stock, but Arsene should come online at any moment now. You see that bar? There he is, 151. This is would be a scary place to be if Index had any more percent on him, but they do find the bomb into the forward air eventually, and Index has evened up that stock count and, most importantly, gotten rid of Arsene.
Oh my gosh, and that anti-air in the form of that up tilt. They just want Joker above them, which is crazy to think about, because the down guns are such a factor, but the fact that Toon Link is able to juggle so efficiently is such a boon in this matchup. 62% means Arsene, it's their turn to play, drifting all the way down for that, but get up right into that up B.
Have a strange interaction there, but they kind of get away with one. That up B ends up catching Rampage, not able to get back from the ledge, and the bomb also edge guarding, but there, the bomb almost sabotaging Index as it nearly knocked him into that forward smash from Rampage. But things still relatively even. It is Index who has that percent lead, but we saw it didn't mean too much at the end of stock number 1. Now the back throw to get Index off stage. Bomb will hit him back, and Rampage finds a way to land safely. Side B connects. Both players here playing a little bit cautious because they know this stock is important. What a down air there from Rampage. This should be a back air, but he doesn't quite get the spacing. Interrupted by the bomb, but he'll still be able to snap the ledge, but it does not matter. You ran out of time, and the forward tilt takes the stock.
And now without that, I love what I'm seeing right here, but with them going high, it's going to be an even game. Rampage still the jump to bounce right on up there and get that back air, sweeping the stock away. Oh, that jump call out from a year in the past was able to get them, but even so, Index wasn't able to fully follow up, and that means it's an even game so far, chipping away at each other.
Percents almost dead even between them. They were for a moment, I think, but the back air lands, and the bombs now starting to come through. This projectile gameplay. Rampage, again, has been dealing with it all day, but now Arsene is online early here at 45%. What can he do? That up B will knock him away. He's at 61. Has to deal with the boomerang and the bomb and the arrow. He caught the bomb and the dash attack fought through. Great bomb catch there, actually, by Index. He caught it back and actually ends up being knocked away from it for now. Arsene is gone. Rampage is at 93% here. Good forward air from Index, and Rampage can't find the grab. This is the kind of portion of the game where these two have opted to play a little bit more cautious and look for those setups, but now, oh, that's a whip and that's a forward smash. Pull the trigger early and gets punished. It's Rampage who gives New Jersey City the lead.
That was confidence right there from Rampage. In the smoke of the bomb, with a multi-hit still active, they dash forward, they commit to a dash, 100% certain in the timing that they're able to get that forward smash right there, as, woo, that was beautiful right there from Rampage.
What a huge stock there from Rampage. Again, he won, at least for the most part in terms of percent, at the deficit throughout the majority of that game. Stock number 1, he was able to find that back air, which was a very clutch move to spot that jump and catch it. And then even in stock number 2, he was at about 120-ish by the time he ended up, I believe, dropping his stock to a forward air. So the fact that he was at a deficit through most of that stock shows me that Rampage, his survivability is a huge portion of his gameplay. And on top of that, the fact that Arsene kind of gets mitigated at times, it was really well done. Great adaptation throughout that set by Rampage.
Yeah, I mean, I did like a lot of the stuff from Index. I love the way they use those upward toss bombs. A lot of people, they see top players doing that, and they don't really know why they do that. They just throw those bombs up, and they're like, yeah, I've seen all the links do this. This seems right. The reason they do that is it covers an option or forces an option. When they're above you, you throw it up not with the intention to hit them, but to be like, okay, this is obstructed airspace. You've got to go the other way. Sorry, turn around now. And that's exactly what they did. They were controlling the air repeatedly with those upwards toss bombs, and sometimes they would get the hit, but more often than not, it was the threat of the hit that would push Rampage into another hit. Like that. It was Rampage to come out on top, and now with 1 stock remaining, they're gonna have to face the next representative from Old Dominion.
Old Dominion's opted to send in Germ. Germ is the villager that we saw the last time these two teams met way back at the beginning of our broadcast. It was Germ who went up against Rampage, and it was very close. I believe that match actually in particular came down to the last stock. So another villager versus Joker match seems to be destined for us here. And again, Rampage only won by a stock, but he doesn't start that stock off at 100-ish%. Instead, he starts it off at 0, which means he's still got a chance to earn even more extra credit here. And the way New Jersey City's been playing, every single player on this team has had kind of moments of brilliance where you think they could be, I think, a very double-edged type of sword and kind of get a lot of work done. We'll have to see if that's the case here as we get ready. Stage you'll see on your screen coming up here as Germ on the villager being locked in. It's Yoshi's story, stage we haven't seen today.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why they would like this. We saw a lot of what, we saw from Derpager what Villager can do with a set of platforms with them. And in addition, the fact that the ledges here hang a little bit over the side of the stage means that Villager can pressure you in so many different ways, has so many different angles from which to throw that flower pot, to drop that bowling ball. It's going to be great for cover and recoveries. I love this pick from Germ, and they're using this platform movement to punish Rampage thus far.
Good back air. Oh, the drift, so terrifying. Is he going to be able to make it back? Yes, he is. Arsene ran out, but that grapple is just so strong in terms of recovery. The guns will interrupt the balloons, but only for a moment. Germ will be able to make it back to stage. And Germ's use of the Lloyd Rocket is very clean right now. Wanted the full combo there, found the drag down the up air, but couldn't get much afterward. Germ just buying some time. Rebel's guard means that Arsene is on his way even faster now. The down air lands. The back air going to trade with the Lloyd Rocket. It's not a trade that he wants, but he's so close to taking the stock. I mean, Villager, relatively light, 107, but the up smash is just enough. The last hitboxes catch him, and they're back to even between Old Dominion and New Jersey City.
Yeah, Germ striking back right there, and that might have been a bit of unfortunate DI, but when you're being caught in the landing like that, DIing down, maybe you're not always getting the exact optimal way you'd like to be going, so I can understand how Rampage might have been caught in that little mix-up. Multi-hits will get you. It happens to the best of us, and you're still 6-6. You still did your job, because now New Jersey City University is the one who gets to counterpick. Even though you lose that one stock, you don't have to deal with that Villager counterpick that I was talking about. Yoshi's is so strong for Villager.
Yeah, I love the idea there, too. I mean, like you said, the Villager on Yoshi's story, a stage we don't often see, but they were able to do such a good job on it. And now, if you're New Jersey City, now you're left with the question of, okay, we know we're going up against the Villager next. Now, who do we lock in? Do we, opt for that Samus that can play around the projectiles just as well, but we have to worry about that neutral B pocket? Or do you send in Hydra on the Palu, who is, has shown to be a very strong player, but it's a question of how much do you trust kind of the depth of your lineup here? Do you send in that possible heavy hitter now to try and take out this Villager, or do you hold them back to in case things go awry with Zamu? It's an interesting predicament here, and I'm curious to see who they opt to choose.
I think in the first time they faced Old Dominion, it was Zamu who came out second, but it was Hydra who came out against Derpager's Villager in the match against St. Thomas Aquinas. So it might be, it could be Hydra coming out to try and get some matchup experience building up to that rematch, because you got to remember, NJCU did lose to St. Thomas, but it might also not be that. You might send in Zamu, get them a little more consistent against that Villager as a backup. It remains to be seen right now as the picks slowly are rolling in for us.
And you also have to consider, too, Old Dominion. Polo did a lot of work on that Wii Fit trainer, kept a lot of matches very close, and Polo did a very good job of shutting down Zamu in that second set when these two teams last met. So I think that also playing a factor in New Jersey City's decision making. We are getting word that Hydra has been locked in as a second player for the side of New Jersey City. So that designated hitter coming in second to bat here for the side of the Spartans, I believe. And we'll have to see how they do here. Again, Villager, a matchup that they are well versed in based on the last time these two teams met. And I'm curious to see what stage they go for, too. Probably that Yoshi's not going to be picked back-to-back, but we'll see here. 2 players apiece still remain, and the winner is on to grand finals of this invitational event. So a lot on the line, and I'm actually shocked they opted to go back to Yoshi's story.
I mean, it's not that Palu doesn't have things. That was 70% for a jab. Don't pay attention to that. But, they're able to get the drag down with an air to try and open things up right here. And I like what I'm seeing thus far. They want to keep them above and beyond. They want to just keep funneling Villager up, and away out of this threat zone.
Sense relatively even off the start here. 73. Ooh, well, they were even when I started speaking, but my goodness, a quick 40 has unevened at 51 to 92 right now. Situation reversed. Germ trying to find their footing here, just buying some space, taking away some of the stage, and Hydra continuing to pressure from the corner, from the ledge. Now pressing away with that explosive flame, continuing to chip away at the stock. Hydra's spacing on that explosive flame, I think, is very noteworthy throughout today. It's done so much work for them in so many matchups, and it is a good move overall, but I mean, the amount of times that it is just threatened space exactly where players want to be, it's something to master that spacing, and it's very well done by Hydra. And even here, because of that spacing, Germ's at 142 and will drop his stock to the move as well.
Yeah, every time Germ throws out a hitbox, Hydra answers with one of their own as they avoid that bowling ball hitbox, and now here come the combos. This is why Yoshi's is so good. I thought they were dead right there. An up air in the blast zone at 40%? I'm shocked that Germ is still alive. That might not be true for long though, as Hydra's looking for another opening, but Germ has something to say about that.
I'm actually shocked as well. Maybe if he had a little bit more rage coming through or worse DI, but Germ able to survive either way. But now he's got to find a way back down. Ooh, big down air. You knew that another up air was destined his way, but Germ is able to get out of it for the moment. Good work around there on the auto reticle. I like the idea of that nair, but no luck quite yet. Oh, what tricky movement there. Even though he only down airs a balloon, he stalled for so long, but Hydra was poised and ready, but couldn't quite connect on that stock. And Germ still trying to find a way to take Hydra's first. Mashes out of the grab, and the Lloyd Rocket trade saves his stock. What an interaction. Down smash won't land, and I mean, Germ is doing a fantastic job of surviving around a couple of these fantastic setups.
Yeah, they're spacing out, but one misplaced dash. That's all Hydra needs to get another offstage situation. The ledge trap coming out here, but Hydra elects to play safe, which I love to see. I love it, because that right there is why. It doesn't matter if you're not getting the kill at 90 or whatever. You're still getting kills eventually with the explosive flame, as that is what they're doing now. Ooh, trying to chase him on that platform, not gonna happen.
Chop the tree down, but won't be able to get it off stage. 153 on Hydra's first stock here. What? The combo game? Another up air? This is a lot of rage, too. That explosive flame connects? Is that the stock? No, just barely surviving. Using the pocket, too, to avoid that second explosive flame. But that's a good grab, and that's going to be the stock. A well-earned one at that for Germ, but Hydra, again, they're only... I mean, they start the second stock off, and they've got 78% on Germ's last one. All the damage has already been done here. It's just a matter of time, it feels like, but we'll have to see what Germ can do. Their survivability has been, I think, a staple to their gameplay so far. They're continuing to try and buy themselves time around this ledge, but the read on the roll in and that explosive flame just does so much work, covers so much space. Down tilt as well, sending Germ off stage. Coverage on all of the projectiles there to make sure Palutena stays at that ledge. Dash attack won't land. The nair will knock him off once more. And just very passive, slowly getting back to ledge. Gets the get up attack. Dash attack now for Germ. Oh, the early trigger on the forward smash is not enough. Germ still holding on at 143, and he'll be able to make it back to stage as well.
Yeah, now playing around this center stage where Germ is more than likely to last one more hit, but not if it's off the top. Not if it's on this stage. Not if you're caught in a jump. That is going to be Hydra finishing off Germ while still maintaining 2 stocks for themselves. Very good game plan right there from Hydra. The fact that Hydra had its plan, stuck to it, and that plan was, hey, I can angle explosive flame. Can you deal with that? I don't think so, because the amount you push the stick down actually affects how far away explosive flame is, and not a lot of Palutenas actually use that. And so you've got to be very aware of that going into this.
Yep, and now, well, it is down to the last player for Old Dominion. Their last lives. They are putting all 3 of their remaining stocks onto Polo to try and keep themselves in these playoffs. But Polo has to find a way to take the next 5 off of New Jersey City. That's not going to be an easy task, especially the way Hydra's playing. Those explosive flames, the spacing on them is so crucial, and it's doing so much work across the board. And on top of that, you're also seeing, I mean, the fact that Hydra as well, the play around the ledge, just the patience, really. I mean, all those projectiles from Villager can seem very threatening, especially used off stage, right? And it's like, it's like you said, he's just standing there, seemingly unfazed by all of them and finding a way to get the job done. But this is it for Old Dominion. Polo's got to find a way to take at least the next 2 off of Hydra to keep Old Dominion's chances alive.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Polo is going to do. Polo had a very good performance against Rampage, but can you mimic that now? Going to be a lot of the same ledge pressure we've seen before. Again, Palu having a tool to contest people on the ledge without putting herself at risk is such a massive factor right here. We'll see if they're able to bring it into play here against Polo, dragging them down onto that platform, forcing Polo to expend resources, but Polo not punished too hard yet. Down throw back air will hit though, and in that corner the explosive flame will rack up even more damage.
The catches on the ledge, too, are just so clean from Hydra. Things like the down tilt are connecting into the back air as well. And because of that, Polo is up to 116. Has to find a way to deal with all these projectiles. But the down throw into the back air, well done by Hydra. And that is the first stock of Polo off of the board. Hydra now at 88%. Polo trying to find a way to take this one off early. Wanted deep breathing maybe, but instead they get nared, and now they're in the combo train. 33% after those 3 aerials connect, and Hydra continuing to press, but gets grabbed now. 103. Good air dodge around the soccer ball. Second one won't land. A few boxing options back and forth, but Hydra just opts to buy space, and Hydra, just the conversions are so clean right now. Every nair is into a follow-up hit. Every ledge interaction is into a back air. Just everything is ending in those solidly strong hits, and Hydra has built themselves up a pretty substantial lead despite being at 135. They got out of the jab for a moment, but they still dropped the stock to the up tilt.
Yeah, I love that coverage right there from Polo. I've never seen anyone get out of that, but Polo was ready for it nonetheless. But even so, now you get up attack Hydra at ledge, the wings comes flapping down to punish you. Now you can see with deep breathing, they get a landing, and they get that 48% that he gave from 2 interactions. But is that enough? You can see slowly making this look like more of an even game with the bury right there, but not catching the mash out means that Hydra gets an opening.
27% on Polo's last stock, the last chances of Old Dominion, but 88 on Hydra. Good roll in. That's a berry. Oh, but the mash out from Hydra, so clean. 98%. And with deep breathing, Weefit can take stocks relatively early, but they'll lose it now. 64 on Polo, make it 73. Has to find a way back to stage. Has the jump to get around the explosive flame. Sent the soccer ball the wrong way, but they'll continue to play around this corner. The explosive flame lands. 115. Second one, stalling out. Oh, he got knocked back. Wait, soccer ball, throwback, back air. Is that it? Yes, it is. Hydra is ice cold. Takes the stock, takes the set, and sends New Jersey City to grand finals.
New Jersey City Gothic Knights are going to be repping their team in the grand finals here, and what a show to put them there. Rampage, great performance before being taken down, and then it was the Hydra show all day long. And I mean, there were obviously some moments of brilliance coming out from Old Dominion. You wouldn't have gotten this far into the playoffs if you weren't a great team. They got some very good wins throughout their bracket run too. Ultimately though, I felt like Old Dominion was very consistent throughout their roster. They didn't have that X factor, that clutch factor that these other teams have, pulling them out through almost impossible situations, and ultimately Old Dominion is going to fall in these semifinals.
A great showing by them overall, but like you said, just not enough in the tank. Could not find a way to deal with the wild card that is Hydra, the old guard of this Smash scene. And because of that, New Jersey City, they've booked their ticket to Grands, but they're not quite booking their ticket to Atlanta yet. They await the winner of our next matchup. Should be a fun one. It's going to be Howard versus St. Thomas Aquinas. A battle for that second spot in grand finals coming up after a short intermission. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Invitational. We are getting ready for that second matchup of the playoff bracket. But before that, I mean, we got to congratulate the New Jersey City Gothic Knights for making that grand finals here. And what a match it was between them. And joining us here in the booth for a quick interview is going to be Hydra. Hydra, how's it going?
Yo, doing good.
Yeah, I mean, what a performance you guys had. You in particular have had some solid performances just today. So how you feel about your team and how this event is going overall?
I think the event's really good. Definitely took like a little bit for us to get used to like the group stage, and like how it works, how like transition to the bracket. But so far like we're playing pretty good. I think we have So I mean, we're just gonna do our best, try to take it home.
Yeah, and your best is certainly a lot to contend with. And I remember at the very beginning of the season in a different league, but kind of associated, I interviewed you and you were saying this season a lot more of a rebuilding season for NJCU. Now you're looking pretty rebuilt. How would you evaluate your team's progress so far?
I mean, definitely like has a lot of ups and downs so far, but overall we've definitely been improving like throughout the semester. I think the main thing is that everyone's at least been improving as a player. So even if their performances don't necessarily match like how good they are, at least they're always like constantly improving and always practicing.
Yeah, you guys today, at least for what we've seen of you on stream, you guys have had a lot of matchups against characters in particular that are known for their projectile gameplay. Villagers, Wii Fits, snakes, lynx, things like that. Uh, how do you deal with that kind of pressure, knowing that those characters, it feels like, at least for what we've seen of you, you are unfazed by all of the projectiles headed your way. That wall just means nothing to you. Is that just a something that you've worked on yourself, or is that just matchup dependent?
Definitely like matchup dependent, I'd say, because each different zoner has like their own projectiles that they use, certain like setups that they like to do. On our team especially, we have the Samus player Zamu. He plays a lot with projectiles, and it's a style that we're all very used to. So even though we might not be fighting like Samus, we might be fighting a villager who's like throwing slingshots at us. It's kind of the same thing as him shooting charge shots, things like that.
And now, looking forward, it is going to be either Howard or St. Thomas Aquinas that you'll be facing off against, and you've played them both already. So, if you were to ask, what team would you rather be facing in these grand finals?
It's hard to say. I think we'd have a better chance at beating Howard, but the other team, I know that like their villager is extremely good, so it would definitely be a good run back to play against them at the same time. So I think we would, at least for my team, we'd rather fight Howard.
We'll have to see. All right. One last question for you here while you're with us. Is there anyone you'd like to shout out or thank? Or, the floor is yours.
Definitely shout outs to the NJCU Esports scene. I actually had a talk with one of the managers of it yesterday. We're talking about the scene and everything. I mean, they worked really hard to make all this actually happen. They pretty much started from the ground up. University doesn't help us too much, so it's a lot of work on them, especially to like not just start the program, but to even keep it running. But yeah, I mean, for as far as the NJCU Smash team goes, like we're always gonna keep on doing our best, keep improving, going to tournaments, things like that. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. You love to hear it. All right. Thank you once again, Hydra. And we'll see you in grand finals momentarily.
All right. Thank you.
All right. And with that, we will be cutting to a short intermission to get ready for that second semifinal. When we come back, it's going to be Howard versus St. Thomas Aquinas for that second grand final spot. You're not going to want to miss it, so don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational. Our second semifinal is about to get underway. Should be a fun one. Howard versus St. Thomas Aquinas, two teams that have looked really good through pool play.
Yeah, both of these teams have this X factor in them and then a solid roster of players to round them out. At least I would say that about Howard, except we haven't even gotten to see all their players on stream yet. So I'm hoping that St. Thomas Aquinas is able to push them all the way so we can at least see all those amazing players in action. But a couple of key players to watch thus far. Ghost on the side of Howard almost completely obliterated another team by themselves versus Derbinger, who has been, was actually able to upset them as, Okay, we got Zacatec opening up here against Vexel right here, who instead of the Rosa is running the Zelda.
Yeah, very different. Second Zelda of the day, but I feel like those characters very different. But it's Zacatec falling early there, got pushed off, and the power dunk did not get them back to stage. So they dropped their first stock very early. Because of that, Vexel, the stock lead, that's a huge loss there from Zacatec.
Yeah, and with that, you know it's going to be Vexel playing this range game, using the Phantom to cover their approach and then landing with that crystal. It is going to be enough to keep the pressure on top of Zacatec, which is not something you usually see. If you have the range, you like to use it to stay away from Terry, but Vexel is able to push the envelope here.
B. I like the idea. Not going to be able to take the stock quite yet, though, but the damage has been done, and it's now going to be something to watch for further on this set if you're Zacatec. Dash attack there. Not going to be able to take the stock quite yet. Vexel surviving at 119, but the down tilts come through, and that's going to be an easy side B to take that stock away. Well done there by Zacatec to even up that stock count. He's already working away at this second stock. Terry does so much damage off of just one opening. 41 off of that quick combo. But look at this. Vexel stringing things together, pushing him to 101. And the Knight catches the jump. And just like that, Zacatec's on their last stock.
Oh, and that Phantom was so deep that Zacatec did not see the sword coming. Now Vexel is able to use that to get back to ledge, punishing Zacatec for ever straying too close to the side of the stage. Just the raw Phantom right there puts on even more pressure for Vexel. They're barely able to find a place to breathe, to stabilize. They go all the way to the other side platform, waiting for an opportunity to arise. And Vexel not giving it that much. There's space in these aerials. They're using multi-hits. Zacatec isn't able to find a safe way through this defense.
113. Terry does have the kill power to try and take this stock. This is a pivotal moment for Vexel. Can they get the work done? Can they hold on to the lead that they've built for themselves? Or will Zacatec find a way to even things back up? Power Dunk doesn't land. Neither will that Nair, but it is Vexel with a lot of agency right now. The Knight fights through that side B, and there's the dash attack. That is going to be enough. That one fighting through, so Zacatec has evened up the stock count. And this is where things can get dangerous. 87. That go is going to come online very soon, and Terry only needs those few neutral interactions, but the toes hit, the strong hitbox connects, and Zelda dipping low, won't be able to get the drag down. Go is online. Here's where things can get scary. Buster Wolf won't be able to take the stock quite yet. 84% though on Vexel. Playing dangerously around this corner, just jumps back to center stage. The neutral B, all those hitboxes finally finding one. The Knight connects, and it's enough. Vexel takes the first set and has Howard on a one-stock lead.
Howard Community College coming out swinging right now with Vexel, and that is an opening you desperately need. Zacatec has proven themselves to be one of the most impactful players on this team, and the fact that you're able to take them down in this opening game is crucial. But I will say, as soon as Zacatec put their feet on the ground, I was terrified. With Go online, they got 2 jabs into Buster Wolf. At ledge, that would have killed, and then another jab would have just been death. But Vexel was able to steal their resolve, hold their ground, jump back, wait out the option, and then go in with that strong option with the Phantom and finish off the game.
Yeah, a very close one, but at the end of the day, Vexel gets the job done, and those hitboxes too, I think, were really key, right? The lingering hitboxes of things like the swordsman or like the Knight that comes through, like the neutral B that they used to kind of knock them to the corner in the first place were made Vexel made very good use of those moves, I think, throughout this set in particular, and that gave them just the advantage they needed. Now it's only a 1 stock lead, but it did get dangerously close towards the end there, and they'll start this next set off at 0%. We'll have to see who St. Thomas Aquinas opts to send in next, and it is going to be Derpager. Again, they opt to send in these heavy hitters a little bit earlier to try and respond in that second slot here. So here we go. Derpager, another heavy hitter of this St. Thomas Aquinas roster, looking to try and take a stock off of Vexel's Zelda.
Earlier, we saw Mythical Tycho come out on the Zelda, and slowly Derpager found ways to adapt to every single approach option from them. We'll see if the same thing holds true for Vexel, or if Vexel can mix things up enough for Derpager to get fought out, as these aerials, aggressive aerials, using these multi-hits is tripping up Derpager for the time being. But now here comes the aggression that we know and love from him.
42% looking to try and take the stock early. How do you get back off of the ledge? The roll around, it looked like Derpager was scouting it, but just couldn't get there in time. 72% right now. Neutral B knocks him away. Only 35 to Derpager. Forward air, did a lot of shield pressure, but won't land quite yet. Those kind of fall down neutral Bs that are being used time and time again. There's a lot on that move, and Derpager is starting to find the gap where he can possibly punish it. Wanted maybe another one there, but the up air lands instead. Knight gets interrupted, won't be able to fully charge. Forward air again, knocking off stage, has to up B, gets around the bowling ball, but the up air is going to do a lot of work as well. Reflects the Lloyd rocket, but Vexel feels like they might be working on borrowed time. Good drift away there from that forward air, but that up tilt is going to be enough, that I believe was down tilt. Either way, Derpager takes the stock, and things are back to even.
6-6 right now between Howard and St. Thomas Aquinas. They are, well, dead even. And now here comes the matchup that, I expect here comes the matchup. Ghost showed dominance in their previous sets. We saw them. And if Ghost against Derpager, whoever wins this could just sweeping through in the end. Now, we did see when Derpager went up. Oh, okay. Ghost is actually not coming in. Some confidence right here from Howard, and I like that. If you're able to weaken up Derpager, then maybe Ghost can sweep through the rest. And again, these are not the only key players, but as the X factors of their respective teams, you have to pay mind to them.
Yeah, absolutely the case. The way Ghost has been playing, it would be, he is, I think, like you said, the key member of this team to watch. When he finds success, this team finds success. And to send him in here, a Cloud versus Villager type of matchup, that seems very volatile kind of both ways. Cloud can take stocks very early, but also if Cloud gets knocked off stage, you might lose your stock very early, especially to a character like Villager. So maybe they're trying to avoid that type of matchup for as long as they can, especially the way Cloud's been or that Ghost has been playing. If he can hold on to that stock for a little bit longer and not have to deal with that matchup, possibly, like you said, weaken the amount of stocks he's got to go through, the way Derpager has been playing, that would do wonders for them down the line. Because we've already seen Ghost on 1 stock can cruise through some teams, but this is that third member that we didn't get to see the last time around for the side of Howard. Opting for Yoshi, it appears to be the case. That's another kind of strange counter pick that we haven't seen a lot of.
Now, this is one character who I think can butt heads with Derpager's playstyle. That forward airs, the forward air is not going to break Yoshi's double jump armor anytime soon, and so because of that, we can actually see Gon coming in and actually contesting Derpager in the air. Not something we see that often. Usually you have to catch one of their landings.
See what Gon's Yoshi can do. First time we've seen them on stream. How do they handle the pressure as things even up here? What can they do against Villager? So far, so good. Things just about even. 0.3% separate the two of them. And so far it's gone. He's opted to kind of play around the outskirts of the stage. You're seeing a lot of jumping around these platforms, really not opting for stage control. Yoshi's got some good combo game as well that they can pull off if they find something like the drag down of back air, but no real openings. Derpager playing a very strong defensive game. Some dash attacks will land, but not too much off the back of them.
Oh, this is huge from Gon right now, as they're able to keep racking up the damage right here. And that's the thing about Yoshi, very reliable kill confirms. Forward air, up air, up tilt, up air, forward tilt, up air, down throw, up air. All of them work at certain percents, and those are all options that Derpager has to be aware of as they start to climb higher and higher.
Gotta be careful here. Both, again, still hanging around at those even percents. Ooh, that forward air nearly cost Gon the stock, but the air dodge gets him back to stage. Gon weaving away around these platforms once again. Finds his way in with the egg, but the down air interrupting a possible move. But what a spike there. Derpager catching the jump there, seemingly out of nowhere. Gon drops the stock, and it's Derpager in the lead.
That was at the very peak. That had to be exactly when that double jump armor ran out. As now down a stock, Gon is struggling to find these hits that will confirm. I mean, even putting Derpager off stage is proving to be quite a challenge for them. As finally they get that forward air a little out of the up air percentages. That's heartbreaking right there. If you're Gon, you've just lost one of your main kill options. Now fishing for more opportunities to finally put Derpager in the ground.
Won't find the up smash there. Still trying to find a way to end the stock, but he's eating 73% for it. The back air lands, but it's only the drag down. He ends up falling back down to the stage. The tree will be planted, the egg will land, but it's all just for that percent. And Derpager continuing to kind of work their way into center stage control. Air dodging around that up air, another clutch moment. They'll be able to land back on stage. No strong hitboxes really to be seen, just chip damage across the board for both of these players. The neutral B, I like the idea on the mix-up. The jab actually ends up landing, but the Lloyd Rocket will help cover that edge guard. But the back air, there it is. All the hits connect, and Derpager has dropped their first stock, but it's 123 on Gon's second, which means he's kind of working on borrowed time, and they're going to knock him off tree around the edge, and they'll be able to make it back. Gon here, still a lot of work to be done, and they'll drop the stock thanks to that up air.
And that right there, okay, now we saw how well Derpager was doing in this early stage, but now that Derpager has caught on to Gon's movement, it's getting better and better for them. They've got the egg as that sort of diagonal anti-air. Yoshi loves to come in at an upwards diagonal angle, and that is exactly where the egg, when pocketed, covers.
Gotta be careful here. 65 right now on Gon, trying to find a way to get this, at least this next stock off the board, and give Ghost a pretty good chance in that next set. 2 stocks of Derpager as a scary prospect to deal with. Lloyd Rocket's also doing a lot of work, but that up air, is it enough? No, it's not. Kill Sparks showing, but the stock is still on the board. Roll in, the axe is there, and that is it. Gon will fall, only taking a stock. Derpager keeps 2.
Down to the anchor right now for the side of Howard Community College, and what an anchor it is. However, this could be tricky. I feel like this could have been the right call, though. If Ghost is able to win out against Derpager while, let's say, keeping 1 stock, we've seen them 3-stock 2 people on this stream already, Soy. We have seen that happen twice. So it is not out of the question, if they're able to beat their opposing X Factor, their opposing anchor, that they will be able to make this work. However, that's putting a lot of faith in Ghost, and maybe not giving enough credit to Derpager. The way Derpager has been able to make some of these comebacks has been brutal.
Derpager has been on a tear so far today. Again, The way he has played, some tricky movement, a lot of difficult setups, and he has capitalized off the back of all of it. It's worth noting too, the last time, I mean, these two teams met through the pool play was way back in round one, and it was a one stock victory for Howard. So St. Thomas Aquinas, their only loss so far today was to this team. Now, we don't know exactly how that set in particular panned out, but it goes to show how close and even these two teams are. And headed into this last set, you have to assume Ghost is the player headed in for the side of Howard, but you also have to assume that with that stock lead, that's a huge kind of disadvantage that Derpinger is going to have to work with in this upcoming set.
Yeah, you're going to have to be very cautious of that, as Ghost has been confirmed. Ghost locked in. 2 stocks for Derpinger, 3 for Ghost. And I feel like with this disjoint, you do have a way to approach Villager. It's not going to be easy, but if you're able to get in there and stuff out those slingshots, then you've got a lot more of a chance. I do agree, though, you called this out a while ago, but the thing you have to be the most careful of is the fact that Cloud has a pretty linear recovery that doesn't always snap right to ledge. So if you're able to get that bowling ball out in time, okay, it's the Inkling, okay. I have no idea.
Inkling, very different. We saw the Cloud on a roll earlier on stream. I believe it was against Loyola, Maryland. Inkling, a different character in their own right. Now, I think you still have a relatively similar type of combo game, but that survivability, you almost wonder if it's because of that recovery. Inkling has a little bit more drift. You've got that hitbox to work with. I wonder if that's the reason why we're seeing the character switch. The way that Cloud was moving earlier, this Inkling, well, so far struggling, 73%, and that's the first hit they've landed on Derpinger.
The one thing that defined Ghost for me was movement, and if there is any character who can get schmovin' just like that, it is definitely Inkling. However, with the way that Derpinger's been controlling the ground right now, where are you gonna move? Everywhere is a no-walk zone. They're trying to cover the ground with that splat bomb. It's not gonna matter. They get the down air out of that attempt at a roller, and now with the back throw, you're getting even closer to death right now. Watering up that tree, covering the ledge, but not enough time right there, as Ghost is able to retreat safely to the other side of the stage for now.
Dangerously avoiding that up air, very close, but that up smash will do it, and only 44% here has been dealt to Derpinger. Look at his edge guard attempt. He knows there's one way back for him. What an early up B. Smart play there from Ghost to get back, but he eats a ton of percent for it. He's at 67 right now. These up airs continue to work away at this stock, and Nair as well. And far, I don't think Derpinger's touched this stock. 44% still here. That forward air gonna land as well. Ghost is up to 100, and Derpinger is on a mission right now. There's the down tilt, the first time they've been touched on this second stock, but just continuing to work away. Forward airs, nairs, nowhere to go. The bomb lands. This is a good opportunity, but he's going to get jabbed instead. Knocked off stage. Lloyd Rocket to cover. Bowling ball doesn't land in time. Good grab here, but Derpinger gets out of it. His defensive play is just so clean. That back air nearly finds a way to take the stock as well, and the ball cleans it up. Derpinger's taken down 2 of Ghost stocks.
Oh no, Soy, and they fell into the classic blunder, approaching Derpinger when they have a tree in the corner off of Angel platform. And because of that, they lost that little bit of advantage that they had. They actually got punished, but at least it wasn't a kill this time. At least Ghost had the defense there. But with the pineapple, Howard Community College is out of here. That will be St. Thomas Aquinas College going all the way to grand finals for the rerun against New Jersey City University.
Wow, an unfortunate way for that set to end, because you knew Ghost was such a key player for this team coming in, and for it to end in a pineapple at a low percent is rather tragic for them, but well deserved for St. Thomas Aquinas. My goodness, Derpinger is playing incredibly strong right now. He is, if they end up winning, I think he deserves MVP headed to Atlanta. If they still got one more hurdle to cross after this, but That's going to be coming up after a short intermission. We'll get that short break in just a moment. And well, I mean, what a grand final it's going to be. When these two met in round robin play, we actually got that game, and it really did come down to the last stocks. So, should be a fun one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational. We just saw St. Thomas Aquinas take down Howard in the semifinals. They will be advancing to the grand finals. But before that, we've got a quick interview to get underway here with one of the stars of the show for the team. Derpiger is here. And Derpiger, I mean, what a performance you've had today. I mean, how are you feeling about you and your team?
I'm feeling good. We came into this not really knowing how well we would do, but we're in grand finals somehow, so we can't be sad about that.
Yeah, no, not at all. And the first thing I got you about is early on in pools, you faced Howard and you ended up falling to them with one stock. One stock was the only difference. So what was the key change you made in between then and now to get you here?
For me, I think it was more of mostly a momentum thing. After that, we played other teams, and then I started to feel like I was playing better. And then I got more confident, and we knew we were so close to winning last time that I'm just like, if I just play a little bit better, I should be good.
You in particular have had yourself a day. I mean, the number of stocks you've taken per match is really something else to watch. So I guess my question is, do you have a certain type of maybe a pregame ritual or some sort of warm up that you go through to get ready for events like today?
Beforehand, I sometimes just like play a few matches with my teammates. Obviously, I do like some just like drills of like some like out of shield options and stuff like that. Make sure I got that all set up, and then when I see like what there's like a few seconds before, I just remind myself what do they want and how do I avoid letting them get what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you definitely did that. We've been calling your villager the anti-zoner all day long, and that has been pretty accurate. Though, I just want to ask, on a personal note, you've hit a lot of crazy setups, some traps today. Do you have a favorite setup that you've hit so far today?
I think my favorite is when I like two framed. I think it was the Palu when I two framed him with Lloyd, and then I immediately spiked him out of that. That was pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
I had no faith that it would actually work, and then did, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't know that was gonna happen either." But that was very hype.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch. All right, I got one more question for you before we go. I mean, uh, sorry, let me rephrase. You guys are on to grand finals against New Jersey City. Last time you guys met, it was in that third round. It was very close. It was down to the wire. What's the key for you guys in this matchup? Or do you have any insight into this grand finals?
The most I can really say is that last semester in the ECAC, it was either the ECC or the ECAC. We played them in like when we were in top four, and we got like absolutely destroyed. So I guess we came into no expectations and seeing what we can do. So we play our best. Don't make anything easy for them. Don't let them get what they want, and then if we play well, we have a real shot.
Yeah, absolutely the case. All right, while you're here, is there anyone you would like to shout out or thank? The floor is yours, essentially.
First of all, the two people behind me, Joe and Zach. Matt's on the other side. He can't be on screen right now, but shout out to them. They're great friends of mine, and last semester we just kind of did this. We're like, oh, we like Smash Brothers. Let's do the league, and then here we are now, just playing, doing our best, and we're making it much farther than I don't think we ever expected. So, shout out to them for being great friends and great teammates, and always wanting to improve.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Derpinger, for joining us. And we will see you in grand finals momentarily. We'll let you get ready for it. So thanks once again.
Thank you.
All right. And that means we've got one game left, Kilo Miles. This is going to be a fun one for sure. New Jersey City versus St. Thomas Aquinas. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, me neither. It's gonna be so hype. The rematch, last time it came down to the wire, and this time we're gonna see if they can make it just as hype. Before I mistakenly said, oh, that might have been the match of the tournament right there, the last time we saw these teams fight. And now we're about to see them in finals. And you know it's going to be even better, so stick around. The CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational will be right back with the finals in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome, everyone, to the grand finals of the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational of 2022, and we are bound for a good one. NJCU has been the #1 seed coming in through pool play, and they get the run back against St. Thomas Aquinas, the only team to beat them in pool play. Two teams have been playing so hot, and the winner books their ticket to Atlanta for that national bracket. All on the line here. This one, it's going to be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, in the 3rd and 4th seed, I mean, they didn't even force either of these teams down to their anchor. Both these teams are playing so hot, Soy. I mean, between what we just saw from Derpinger, like, is styling on people, to the fact that we saw Hydra look frankly dominant against zoners, just like what we've seen from Derpinger. I have no idea what to expect in this run back, except for some good quality Smash Brothers, 9 stocks for each team to decide it all, 1 crew battle to decide who is going to Atlanta. It all is decided here, and I cannot wait.
It's going to be so much fun. Again, I think those players to watch, you called them out. Hydra versus Derpinger. Those are the two anchors that have been so well for both of these teams respectively. And that matchup, it feels like it's going to be destined at some point. The question is, where will it happen? Will it happen early? Do you send them in as a blind pick possibly? Do you hold on to them for the middle brackets? We've often seen St. Thomas Aquinas send in Derpinger in that 2nd overall seed, but we've also seen both of these teams act as the anchor. Game #1 of Grand Finals is underway. Rampage versus Ampy for the first set between these two.
Yeah, and I like this. I mean, obviously, Rampage coming out, always a good time. The standard opener for NJCU, but Ampe coming out, I really like. Ampe hasn't gotten to see that much time so far, but they have been a very consistent opener. They're not always winning out, but they're always weakening out whoever comes in for the opener, and if they don't win outright.
Yeah, Wolf Joker, again, a very kind of pivotal matchup in terms of just how these two characters can really beat up upon each other. Just every hit, especially for Wolf, it feels like every hit is just so satisfying to land and just sounds like a truck when you land it. But Rampage has done such a good job in particular of being the first man in for the side of NJCU. He's been dealt with a lot of very difficult matchups, but that up B in, the counter gonna land. He counters a side B as well. So clean. Rampage, only at 38%, has taken the first stock.
That was such a clean runoff counter right there on that side B. They react to that online and get the counter out on time. Beautiful stuff right there from Rampage as they're now looking to keep running away with this. Don't get another hit with Arsene though, as Ampe is able to hold off. Their defense is good, but on the ground, it is Rampage controlling with this smaller hitbox. They're weaving under these aerials, and now they contest that recovery with the down guns. Beautiful stuff thus far from Rampage.
Just so much damage has been chipped away here. 79 right now on Ampe. on this second stock, even parrying the forward air too. Rampage on a tear, gets the Rebels guard. Dash attack won't catch Wolf quite yet. Early jump used, and the air dodge instead of a special move to try and recover. Up smash won't land as well. Ampe trying to find a way to take the stock, knowing Arsene is right around the corner here. Won't be able to find one. There's Arsene strengthening all of those moves, but won't find the forward air again. Still, Rampage yet to be touched seemingly for the past, I want to say, almost 30 seconds. Another parry on a dash attack, and Rampage's defense very clean right now.
Yeah, very clean indeed. The spacing is so good. And what I love to see thus far is the fact that underneath these platforms, Rampage is playing so safe. The whiff grab, though, oh my gosh. Both these players refusing to give up an inch. Finally, that back air clips Ampe. That's one strong, sizable hit. And because they're hesitant to go for that side B after what happened last time, they fall down early.
That forward air, too. Thought maybe they could pull that one off and still get the up B out in time, but not the case. Ampe on their last stock. 149 on Rampage. That down smash, yep, well done there. Spaced around the Rebels guard and ended up connecting on that down smash as well. But, oh, wait, no jump possibly, but still gets the grab here, and Ampe forced to the corner once more. 67, that was an awkward trade there. I think he wanted to grab, but it ends up dipping low, but the fade is not enough. He went for the slide angle, and it didn't get him there. Ampe falls. Rampage holds 2 stocks headed into the next match.
That, Soy, was the cleanest ledge pressure we have seen from Rampage all day. Unequivocally. The fact that Rampage was interrupting the recoveries with the counter, was consistently pressuring them, making Ampe make those mistakes at ledge, because here's the thing. People don't just make those mistakes all the time. Sure, you can accidentally misinput a button. It's online. But it's not just that. It's the fact that they make Ampe too scared to go for a side recovery or a very low recovery, and they force them to try and get the sweetest of sweet spots, and that's not going to work. The spacing isn't going to be there, and that is why Rampage ran away with that 2-stock lead.
A 2-stock lead, and we're getting word that it is going to be Derpager, that second man in for St. Thomas Aquinas. He's always been that second man in, but the way he's played like a captain, like an anchor. He has been on fire today on this Villager. Even in the last time these two teams met, he took a great handful of stocks. I believe he took down, I think similarly, 2 of Rampage's, and I think I believe he did take all of Hydra's stocks in that set. So he's been on a tear today. And if there were one player to try and even things out, you would lean on Derpager. But Wolf versus Joker, we did actually see this one. Actually, I believe the last time it was Rampage only had 1 stock remaining. Either way, Derpager a force to be reckoned with, and Rampage, we'll have to see if he can get any extra credit here on the board.
I feel like it's definitely possible. Joker definitely has those tools to poke away at Villager. Additionally, his small hitbox, I mean, he's a twiggy little guy, Joker. He slips right under so many things. I feel like Joker's dashing animation might just be able to go under a badly spaced hop forward air. Like, a lot of Derpager's go-to options just aren't going to work the way you would hope they would. And that is what we're going to be seeing here on PS2, a wide open stage for a battle that is going to span every single inch of it, because we have seen with the floaty style, both these characters love to carry each other across the stage as soon as you get 1 hit of advantage.
And Rampage in particular, no stranger to this matchup. He's faced a good handful of villagers today, both not only Derpager, but also Germ from the side of Old Dominion in that very first round of the day. So no stranger to the matchup. We'll see what he can do here. He's got 2 stocks to play with. Can he get anything off the board here of Derpager is the question, because the way Derpager's been playing, I mean, it is something else to watch. Loading in PS2, the site of this second set. Should be a fun one here. Rampage will have to drop that first stock, but otherwise it is no holds barred for these two. And I think that, This one's going to be a fun one. I think one of the keys that we didn't really see last time was that edge guard capability, right? You can catch Joker's recovery, and I mean, I think these two really in general can beat up on each other off stage, but it's a matter of getting to that phase of the game in the first place.
Drag down right there into the grab. That was beautiful right there, stacking on some early percent, and that's crucial. Interrupting the tether right there with that quick old nair, but now here comes that ledge pressure again. Remember what I was saying? This is the best ledge pressure we've seen from Rampage all day. If they're able to carry that momentum into punishing Derpinger every time they're at the ledge, this is going to be huge. They go all the way down, obviously gets the tech, and with the balloons, they're able to get back to ledge. Derpinger, though, that is a wake-up call, or more of a wake-up slap. They need to clean up against Rampage.
109, and with Arsene still, this is still terrifying, but they'll wait it out, so Arsene now comes off the board, but still, the pressure's on. Joker's still got a decent amount of kill pressure without Arsene on the table. And at 77, too, you've built up a little bit of rage. What a fade, still threatening, but those back airs not quite gonna find the mark, too. Good, good drift there from Derpinger. A lot of damage racked up there thanks to the Lloyd rocket. Threatening once again, but the miss space there. I think he wanted to cover a movement option there for the moment, but couldn't find it. Either way, it's Rampage who's able to take that stock there thanks to that back air. Back throw to answer. Lloyd rocket won't catch, and Derpinger can't catch Rampage right now, but the Arsene should come online here. He does. Can he find a way back to stage?
Very
good.
low. What a
upbeat.
recovery.
That was so good on the fade, and Rampage, the survivability right now on point.
Oh my gosh, Soy! Where was this Rampage earlier? They went all the way off to try and contest Derpinger right there. And you can tell Derpinger might be a little flustered, but they're still able to keep applying pressure. Eliminating that first stock right there. What else can Rampage bring to the table here? As it's all about, if Derpinger holds onto this stock, it's a lot more doable. But if not, if they're only on one stock, going up against Hydra, going up against Zamu, this might just be NJCU, as that aggressive recovery is called out right now, and they're in danger of losing Derpinger just to Rampage. What is this?
Rampage is on a rampage right now. He does not care about yours or whoever you send in. He has been on point right now. He is warmed up and ready to go, to say the least. And on this last stock, he's still looking to try and take Derpinger's lasses. Right now trying to pressure around this ledge once again. Arsene should be coming offline momentarily, but already a decent chunk of damage has been done. 55 to Villager. Good forward air, though. Turn around the uppie. Ooh, got the shield out in time against that bowling ball. Dangerous spot for him to be in, but the berry didn't get the forward smash. The mash out. Incredible from Rampage. Again, survivability, the name of the game. 93. Nair into dash attack. Holds on here, will shield the Lloyd rocket as he can't crouch underneath it. The Nair as well, continuing to chip away at this last stock here. Trying to buy a little bit of time for Arsene. Got the Rebels guard along with 2 up airs to boot. 86% on Derpinger here. Trying to find a way to seal this one away, but the forward air will land. Great tether cancel into the down air. The movement from Rampage now starting to come online.
Derpinger right now being smothered as Arsene is about to come out again. Derpinger, that's a ticking time bomb you're swinging at, and you've got to be aware of what is about to come around the corner. Now Arsene is here to play. Back air doesn't take the stock yet, but another one will. This is getting really dicey right now, so can they make it back to this ledge? Oh, the back air whiffs. An opportunity for a ledge trap right here. That back air doesn't quite kill either. The bowling ball, is that enough? No, they missed the 2-frame.
Oh, the back air?
And the back air! That's it! Rampage eliminates Derpinger. They have taken 6 stocks from St. Thomas Aquinas. Rampage takes away any opportunity for anyone else to be this MVP here in this grand finals match. I don't believe my eyes. Spirit of MK Leia right here. I'm in awe. Shock and awe right now, Soy.
It's incredible to watch. Rampage again. He's been kind of the go-to guy, the lead-in blind pick, and just kind of, play with the cards you're dealt type of player here throughout this run for New Jersey City. But he has come alive in this grand finals. He's looking like Ghost. I feel like he just took Ghost's controller and said, here, let me use this, and just ran away with it. The fact that he's taken 6 stocks with his 3 goes to show, I mean, that warm-up phase is gone, over, dusted. Rampage is in full throttle mode, and he has built up a significant lead in this grand finals. It is now St. Thomas Aquinas on their last legs and without their star player, seemingly, in Derpinger.
Oh my gosh. And Neo Joe coming in right now. These two players have never fought because Neo Joe always comes in towards the ladder. And I do want to touch on one little aspect that I'm going to be looking out for. There's a reason I said the spirit of MK Leo, and it wasn't just the coloring. It was those little crouches. You see that? They get off ledge and they crouch. They see the Lloyd Rocket come in and they crouch. Because that is one of Joker's best tools. You're able to crouch, and that means what they need to do is they either need to commit to a short hop and the fast fall aerial or a rising aerial. And the rising aerial isn't going to hit. They know that. So when they see a short hop, all they can do is just shield, and then they either hit your shield or they don't hit your shield. Either way, it's such a good mix-up. Those little crouches, that is an MK Leo special all day, every day of the week. And that is one of the main things they were using to mix up Derpinger right there. Every time Derpinger wanted to get aggressive.
Yeah, and the other thing too that I've been a fan of too, that drift off stage, the off stage presence of Rampage is so threatening. The way he just fades with that back air and just seemingly follows you, just playing that game of chicken of, okay, how far do you want to go? How deep do you want to try and recover from? Because it's going to limit your options once you get back to that ledge. Rampage does such a good job of just kind of poising and positioning himself to be in the right place at the right time. And even if the back air doesn't land, he's bought enough time to kind of reset the situation afterward. Really well done by Rampage. He's on his last stock here, but Neo Joe, this PT, the last time we saw him was actually the last time these two teams met in that round robin play, and Neo Joe dropped 2 stocks and nearly a third to Zamu, the Samus, in that very last set. So this is a tall task for Neo Joe. But on the other hand, Pokemon Trainer is a character that can get a lot of work done, especially against a character like Joker. You've got a lot of options at your disposal, and if all you need to take is 1 stock, it seems very manageable. The problem is you got to find a way to take another 6 after this first one. So backs against the wall here for St. Thomas Aquinas. Rampage, last stock for him. How much work can he get done?
That is what is decided here. Rampage has already cemented themselves as the MVP, let's be real. But can you do any more? Neo Joe looking to put a stop to that. Just 1 stock on the board. The opposite scenario that we've seen before. Now it's Neo Joe with their back against the wall. Can they get this finisher? Can Neo Joe pull the same kind of clutch we just saw from Rampage, from a player we did not have our eyes on? We'll see.
Last stock here for Rampage, 8%, but that Arsene should be coming online fairly soon, as you're seeing. At about 40 is when Arsene makes his appearance on that very first stock, and now the combo game on Squirtle gonna land. Ooh, Tether dangerously followed there by Rampage. He wanted an early downer. He caught the Tether there. That's a switch to Charizard. Back air, nearly finding the mark, but it is Neo Joe who will survive. It's the throw off stage. Arsene will leave momentarily, but for the moment, Charizard will get the grab, throws him off stage, and he'll opt to get back there, and Rampage got the drag down. Does he make it 2 for 2? No. Pulled the trigger on the back air, but couldn't quite find the mark. This Charizard seems to be the go-to guy for the moment for the side of Neo Joe. Got a lot of work done the last time we saw it out, but this Joker dashing in, gonna get caught, and that is going to be the game. So no extra stock taken there, but Rampage, the work had already been done. Neo Joe takes the first stock, a pivotal one at that, but they've got to find a way to take 6 more.
The last time Neo Joe faced Zamu, Zamu had 1 stock, Neo Joe had 3. Zamu took 2 of Neo Joe's and brought it to last hit, last stock. Not only does Neo Joe have to beat Zamu, but also Hydra. Soy, this is looking nigh impossible, but it is not impossible until it's over. We gotta keep that in mind. I would not have told you that Rampage was taken down. I would not have told you Rampage was taking down Derpinger. I would not have believed that. And then they did. So Hydra coming in right here. Neo Joe not even getting the chance to run it back against Zamu. Is Hydra going to stuff out St. Thomas Aquinas' dreams right here and stamp their ticket to Atlanta? Or will Neo Joe pull off another insane upset here in the grand finals? We'll see here in what could be our last set.
We've already seen one shocker in Rampage. Does Neo Joe have any tricks up his sleeve? Battlefield, the site of it. And we are underway. 3 stocks apiece, but still Neo Joe has to find a way to get the job done here. Now, combo game on point here for Hydra early, and the early switch to Ivysaur as well. We saw Ivysaur play a big portion of Neo Joe's game against Zamu. I have to see how he does here.
That was pretty clean right there, but Hydra takes a deep breath and shuts that down. Now, you can see Neo Joe trying to control into this platform, but they get shield poked once, and that's the only invitation Hydra needs. Chasing them down in the air with the artillery fire, but it's not enough to finish off the stock quite yet, Soy.
This Charizard is out. How does he find a way back to stage? Ooh, the back air cleanly connected, and Charizard will be able to make it back to stage. Good grab. Back air. Yup, well done. That's the Palutena bread and butter. Down throw into the back air. And Hydra takes stock number 1 of Neo Joe's.
Yeah, touches on the platform leads to more nairs. This juggle coming out. The switch does let you avoid that, though. So, that is an opportunity right here for Neo Joe to get another opening, but it's stuffed out by that forward air, that encroaching option that is just stuffing the life out of you. Forced to drift away from stage, but the tether recovery does get you back there just fine.
Side B will land there from the side of Neo Joe. How does he find his way in? The Razor Leaf connects. Can't catch the teleport. Knew where he was going to go and still couldn't quite track him down. Good snap to ledge there from the Charizard, but Hydra just continues to work away at the stock. Down throw, won't find the back air that time around. Threatening the back air off stage, and this Charizard, the big body, while it's surviving, it's only for a moment as this chip damage is starting to come through, and Hydra, the dash dance, you can tell he's feeling confident right now. Back throw seals that one away, and Neo Joe is on their last stock. It's 1 stock that separates New Jersey City from Atlanta and that national bracket. And right now, they can smell it. The Nair lands, 72%. The switch to Charizard. How much time can this big body buy?
Yeah, Hydra might just be on his victory lap right here, but Neo Joe's there putting some hurdles in the way. Not going to make it easy. Does get a stock off of Hydra right here, but how much more can you get now going into what could be your final stock? 72% on Neo Joe, but they do get that dash attack.
Back air to knock Charizard to the side of the stage. Neo Joe trying to find his way in. The dash attacks have been helpful, but the platform cancel so clean from Hydra. Now on the ledge once more. How many times can he afford to try and get back to stage? The Flare Blitz was a decent idea, but it gets scouted out by the Explosive Flame. And that forward tilt going to quickly get him off stage. Up tilt, not going to take the stock quite yet. 138, the back air, still holding on is Neo Joe. Flare Blitz in, dash attack, won't do it. 170% right now on Neo Joe. No grab from Hydra, but it won't matter. The down tilt seals the deal, and New Jersey City win grand finals of the Mid-Atlantic Invitational for the CECC and book their ticket to Atlanta.
And what a performance they had. After being upset by this very team in pools, they came back and made a statement of them, showing that every single member of their roster is killers. I said earlier about another team that their roster seems a little more spread out, consistent. And so is New Jersey City University's, because all of their players have the potential to come out and suddenly be the carry player. 6 stocks for Rampage? What? That is unheard of, but it shows that every single member of New Jersey City University is worth watching. Every single member can get them qualified, and every single member will be a threat at Atlanta this May.
What a performance from them. They went 4-1 in pools, and the one team they lost to, as you said, they got the run back against in grand finals, and they didn't even have to use all 3. A dominant performance when it mattered the most. So the Gothic Knights of New Jersey City, they win the grand finals, and we'll cut to a short intermission to possibly get an interview with them after this. But thank you all again, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. What a day it's been here at the CECC Mid-Atlantic Invitational. We just wrapped up grand finals, and what a round it was, with New Jersey City taking the dub over top of St. Thomas Aquinas. And a huge reason why that dub happened, joining us at the desk, is Mr. Rampage joining us. Rampage, what a day you've had. Can you walk us through, what this win means to you?
It's a really nice win. We was going into the tournament just hoping to get something going, since our ECAC season had ended just yesterday, unfortunately. We played our hearts out, so just to win this, it means a lot.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, but turning our focus to this game, what was that, man? Genuinely. Coming out and beating one of the best players? What?
Yeah, well, the first game, I did really good against their Terry. I felt pretty comfortable, and I unfortunately couldn't get any stocks against the Villagers, so I felt really bad. So I just thought back to it and what I could have improved on, and when it came to this game, it just worked out. I had a game plan, I stuck to it, and it worked out from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, you, in terms of this team overall, it felt like you were often tasked with kind of the blind pick, the first game in, and you often got a lot of these very projectile heavy matchups. I think you got more villagers than any other character. So, was it a comfort level pick, or is that just by design for your team?
It was a mix of both, because with our team, I feel like I have the least issues with matchups, since Joker doesn't really have too many bad matchups. But also, knowing I was comfortable against the Terry, I went in hoping to at least go out with a win, and then being able to take a stock off the Villager. And like you saw, I ended up actually getting all 3 off the Villager. I'm used to projectiles because of some of the friends I play. Also, I believe Hydra mentioned that we play Zamu on the regular, so a lot of the projectile characters kind of the same thing somewhat. It's just others I have to be careful with, because I can't quite side B as much or use gun too much.
Yeah, that's very fair. And now, looking towards the future, by winning the Mid-Atlantic Invitational, you all have qualified yourselves for the in-person finals in Atlanta. So how you feeling about that?
We're looking forward to it. Hopefully everything goes well. Be fun to journey to Atlanta and meet some really good players in Smash. I'm always looking to play some good players. And also, it was fun playing everyone. Every team we ran into was just amazing players. I've never been let down with any game that I've played, so GG's to everyone.
Well, love to hear it. I mean, you played your heart out today, and it certainly showed. It was really entertaining to. Our last question for you here. While you're here, is there anyone you would like to thank? Any shout outs? The floor is yours.
Just shouts to NJCU, my team, the people I play with. They always help me out with finding any weak spots. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Thank you once again, Rampage, and congratulations on your victory here. It's been a wild ride, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for hosting the tournament.
Thank you. All right. And that does it for us here at the CEC Mid-Atlantic Invitational. It's been a wild ride. It's been highs and lows, but at the end of the day, we had some great smash overall, and I can't wait to see what Atlanta brings moving forward.
Me neither, Soy. It's going to be fantastic. But for now, we're going to be closing up shop. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been Keelan Miles. This has been Soy. This has been the CECC Midwest Atlantic Invitational. And we will see you all another time. Take it easy out there.
Particular of being the first man in for the side of NJCU. He's been dealt with a lot of very difficult matchups, but that up B in, the counter gonna land. He counters a side B.
And what I love to see thus far is the fact that underneath these platforms, Rampage is playing so safe. The whiff grab, though, oh my gosh. Both these players refusing to give up an inch. Finally, that back air clips Ampe. That's one strong, sizable hit.
Could pull that one off and still get the